Welcome in, welcome in. Wednesday is here. Have no fear. Here we are, Kyle. How you doing today? A lot going on. Visitors coming in. Day 2 of spring practice. Talk to me, my man. How you doing?
What's up, Undefeated? And what's up, Ty? I appreciate you guys being here. Today is Wednesday. Today is March 6th. Today is an open window to view Alabama's football practice, a highly anticipated day. I would encourage you guys to make sure that you're notified. If you're already watching, you guys already know what's coming your way. So let me kind of give you the lay of the land so you can write this down or set a reminder for the coverage that you have coming right here on Bama Football on YouTube. So starting today at probably 2:30 p.m., our staff, Taylor, myself, and Coach Smook will head over to the practice facility. We'll get all set up along with probably 150 other media members, okay? From then, we will go to the practice facility, and we will watch practice for about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how long the University of Alabama wants us there. We will then upload that footage right here to YouTube. Our plan is just to upload it raw, right? We're going to just upload it raw. Here's Alabama's football practice. I would anticipate that coverage dropping probably like at 4 p.m., okay? After practice, we are then going to get another section to interview the defensive coaches and the defensive players. Which coaches, which players, I'm not sure. It'll kind of be random draw. So we'll probably bring that to you around, I don't know. I guess I left somewhere. I'm still here. I don't know what happened on the overlay. We will bring that coverage to you probably around like 5 p.m. Then Coach Smook and I we'll have an interview, what we learned, kind of like a video, what we learned from practice, like on site, and then our live shows will continue. So that's kind of the lay of the land. And then, of course, we're going to, look at that footage a million different ways. And that's going to be footage that we live off of up until spring break. So we have 2 cameras and, we're excited to be there and, excited to bring you that coverage right here on Bama Football on YouTube. And as Ty said, you got your recruiting coming in. And it's a big weekend for Alabama football.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Big weekend. Excited to see what y'all are going to be putting out. This is not only not necessarily new for you in the sense of you've been doing this for 8 years, but the kind of formation of it all is not only, I guess, new to you, but new to all of us in terms of getting to view practice, then getting this access. So
yeah.
I'm really excited to see what it all looks like. But Kyle, outside of practice, outside of recruiting, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we're isolating some things that we're excited about, what excites you on this Wednesday morning in regards to Alabama?
I mean, not really the basketball team last night. Man, that was a tough one. Look, it's so hard to win on the road. I still believe in this basketball team. Honestly, I just want to see, and I want to see how they play on a neutral court setting. Playing on the road is hard. Florida's a good team. What excites me about the football team, just kind of the new energy, just the new kind of this regentrification of the program. What I feel like, I think that Coach Saban put these guys in a really good position. I think Coach Kalen DeBoer, his energy is going to spill over to this team. I love the fact that they have reverse rat poison, where nobody feels that this team is going to be as good as they can be. I like the fact that there's these recruits coming in that are excited. And I get it. I mean, in my opinion, recruiting has changed. Like, I don't really get excited about the 2025 commitments or 2026 guys coming in because I think the NCAA rules have changed that. They have made it, completely. And with the transfer portal, I'm excited. Like what happens on April 16th, which guys come into the portal or which guys leave or whatever. That's kind of where my focus is now, but people still like the recruiting, which is fine. And there's and I like it from this fact, like the guys coming in tell you still how heavy the brand is here at Alabama football. Like the guys coming in this weekend are ballers. Antonio Coleman will be here, who just flipped back to Alabama. I would imagine that I think some big time quarterbacks are coming as well, which is important. So yeah, I'm certainly excited to see everything that we got going right here at University of Alabama, and I can't wait to see kind of the overall intensity and the mindset for this team.
Now, Love that. Got a big visitor in today that we're going to talk about in my segment and why I think Alabama fans need to be on alert. We're going to break some of that down. Kyle, I do have to ask you this, though. Did you get a chance to read that article that's circulating around right now? Chris Lowe, fantastic article on ESPN, kind of talking about the process for Saban, the process for the replacement to Saban, the whole 9 yards.
I didn't get to read it. I'm going to read it probably in between our segments. I'm finishing up a couple things. A couple of things. You guys know how much I think of Chris Lowe and the work that he does crafting his piece, and I'm sure I've heard it's an amazing interview. Um, I was thinking about this morning. So, like the University of Alabama gives certain access to selected people. There are so many talented reporters inside Alabama's room that if they had access to that, they would write they would bring it as well. They just don't have the access to it, right? So I think that it's awesome that they do have that access, but people are like, oh my God, how incredible. Well, they have literally the keys like that, like special access. So Ty, like if you had a special access to Coach Kalen DeBoer or anyone else, don't you think the interview would be pretty good?
I'd like to hope I could do what Chris Lowe does. He's also very good at his. I'd like to think that maybe one day I'd be that good at whatever I do.
He's damn good, and he's amazing. And actually, I met him off, and he's like the most humble cat. So I'm just saying, like, I'm gonna read it, and I'm sure it's amazing. But like, there's a lot of talented people out there that just don't have access. But when you do get your shot, make it count. And he's somebody who has continued to do an amazing job. Same thing with all those tenured reporters. Like imagine dating back to like Cecil. Like he was the one guy, Cecil Hurt, that had I don't think there's necessarily like a beat reporter right now that has like real keys to the program. I think there's guys who get some scoop and you have your consistency guys, but like Cecil was so dialed in and he had it based off like what he had done. I mean, shoot, he'd been covering the team since 1983, right? And he could also craft, like his stories weren't overly long, but they hit, right? They were bangers. And he got it. And he was a different cat, like you would see like guys like polished up and dressed up. He would just kind of go around in basketball shorts and maybe he was just like, I don't know, he's a different cat. And obviously, the university misses him. But I'm telling you, like, there's some younger reporters in the room, like not myself, like a content creator. I'm like talking like people like written word editorial that are great. And, they then the opportunities that they have, is going to come their way. It's just, there's a lot of talent here in Tuscaloosa that covers a team. Like these guys, I've seen it. And it's interesting because sometimes these writers get overlooked and you don't see what they're doing. I see what they're doing. Literally, like the game will end. And us too, we're grinding after the game it's a completely different business. But these guys are writing these articles like hours and hours after the game. It's cool to see. It's cool to see the grind. I mean, it kind of in the past, like if I'm not first at the university, Charlie Potter is of Bama Online. Like he's first. Or it'd be me, right? Setting up and doing stuff. Tony Sukalis, an incredible writer. Like he can write like a book, different styles. You have Michael Casagrande, who I know people feel like different about some of the AL.com guys, but in terms of like piecing together stuff, there's a lot of good talent here, but nobody likes Cecil clearly. But I'm overall excited, man. I mean, we haven't had opportunities to view Alabama football since 2019, and how it worked there is they would get us out there for like 7 minutes, and you can look at some of our past footage, and I'll never forget this. People are always asking me, they're like, well, how did you build up the YouTube channel? So around that time, true story, I would film the team, and I knew that because you can't live stream, but I knew whoever got the footage up first, it would get into like the window. So literally I would film the team, like practicing. And then I would sprint, literally full sprint with my camera all the way up the stairs and around like a quarter of a mile to be able to get that stuff out first. And I just did that every single day for season after season, and helped the YouTube channel grow to what it is. But like my heart would be pounding, like I would be sprinting, like uploading the footage, So excited to kind of bring that mentality back to it today.
See, that's a different definition of the grind.
Because this is how I pay my bills. Like, I'm not just like, upload the footage and who cares about the audio? No. Like, I'm like, look, this is the game plan for Wednesday. Like, this isn't like, we got to hit this out of the park like today, 100%.
No, I get it. Listen, I started my YouTube channel within 2 years. I was at 1,300 uploads. So if you want to be successful on YouTube, it's a different type of grind. I think I went 180 days uploading at least 3 like separate videos before I ever even took a break. So yeah, it's a different type of grind.
Yeah, and Shane is saying that he remembers Tony getting frustrated or Saban getting frustrated with Tony's comments. Oh, he was like that for like 5 years, because so the way that you ask like a question, you kind of have to, with Saban, it was kind of in and out, right? Update on Deontay Lawson. That's it. You can't like go into like specific schematics or be like, so what do you think, of the backup quarterback and how is he going to play? And not to say that Tony asked these questions, but that was just kind of, sometimes. And then depending on where you are, Saban would always fire off on the last guy. So it was designed by whoever was the last guy to ask the question. Saban would get fired up at that guy as kind of like a walk-off. It was like showmanship. Think about it. Saban is a showman. What is he doing now? He's working for ESPN. So he understands human behavior, and you don't get fired up in the middle of the press conference, because then people will stack onto that. You fire up at the end, and then you end, and then you walk off, and you're like, right? So he's a genius in how he, delivers all his stuff. So, I don't know. I can't wait to see if Coach Kalen DeBoer gets fired up or whatever. He seems like he's pretty chill. But season's coming, so who knows? Have a great segment, Ty. I'll be back at 9 a.m. To rock with you guys, and then we got Coach Smook at 10, and then we got a full slate of coverage coming your way right here on Bama Football on YouTube. So run the thumbs up on all these videos. Ty, have an amazing segment, and I'll catch up with you guys soon.
Appreciate it, Kyle. Appreciate everybody in the Undefeated. And listen, 100% right. The talent covering the team in and around Tuscaloosa, it's really incredible. And Kyle makes a really good point, right? Talking about all the guys on the ground, what they do, not only editorial. I know that's where he focused, but like what he has built here, that absolutely goes into that conversation. I know he won't say it, but that's what I'm here for, right? That's what I'm here for, to give him that credit. The work he's done, it's allowed us to get to this point. And I say us, the Undefeated, Kyle, Taylor, and I'm just very, very lucky to have had the opportunity to be here, right? Like, that's just an unbelievable opportunity. I can't thank you guys enough, can't thank Kyle and Taylor enough. But looking towards the docket, right? Talking about all these talented people covering the Crimson Tide. Well, now I'm going to try and make my run and give you guys some adequate coverage on the Crimson Tide and what you can expect, not only for today, some light preview of the week and just different expectations. Already fumbling my words. That's a great start to this Wednesday morning. First topic on the docket, we have practice number 2. We don't have it yet, so we're going to talk about some of the things that excite us, where we're looking. Next, we're going to talk about recruiting. Major prospects coming into town, not only today, but every day until the weekend, where this weekend you have major visitors. We've got to get into that. You don't want to miss that one. Next, we have to talk about Bama's new defense. Now, we've talked about this before. Every time, or most times, you have conversations about Bama's new defense, everybody wants to hear, where are the questions? Well, today, we're flipping that. We're talking, where are the answers on Alabama's defense this year? Because, listen, there's conversations about what you need to do in the secondary, and those conversations are fair, they're valid. But the flip side of that is there are conversations on what you have in your front. There are conversations as your inside linebacker. And that's where we're going to focus today, because Alabama is going to excel there. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, you have a question, you want something talked about, drop it down in the chat and we're going to talk about it. And we started off with this right here. Ty, do we know who ran first team reps with the offensive line? I have no idea, Cash. I have no idea. If I was saying off the top of my head, I don't know what the tackles are going to look like. I'm very, very intrigued about the tackle position for the offensive line. Now, here's what we do know, though, Cash. Alabama may be starting with a better interior than 98 to 95% of college football, maybe 99%. And I understand it is one of those things that seems high, but you have Parker Brailsford at center. He's the highest graded returning center in all of college football. He was the number 2 graded center last year. You have Booker, and then you have Jaden Roberts next to him. For that to be your interior 3, that's going to be really a fantastic place for the Alabama Crimson Tide to start building around their offensive line, whether that's McVay, whether that's Pritchett, whether that's Olas, whether that's any of these guys, Bertrand, whoever it may be. So while the tackle is a big question, the 3 interior guys who I think will end up being the 3, which is Brailsford, Roberts, and Booker, that's a great place to start in terms of building out the interior of your offensive line. So whatever you do with the tackles around that, that's what I am really interested in long term, right? But the interior, I think, is in as good of a position as any with those 3 right there. George says Roberts, Booker, and Brockermeyer. Yeah, Brockermeyer, he might have been. I expect Brailsford to win that job, right? He was the number 1 returning center for a reason. That dude, I'm very excited for Alabama to get him. Now, if Brockermeyer pushes him, then that's just great news for Alabama fans. That's just great news for Alabama fans. Nothing is given; it must be earned. I just happen to think if Alabama had center problems last year, you know what I mean? Like, might need some new blood entirely in that position. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the tackles, but the interior of that offensive line, I am very excited to see how Coach Cap builds around that 3-headed interior. That's going to be a lot of fun to see. Great question, Cash. Great question. I imagine we'll have more clarity as time goes on. Because of, we just got started into practices. Chris says, I hope McVay starts. He wants to take on Will Anderson when he got there. Listen, McVay is a very talented prospect. You have got a lot of talented guys at that tackle position that you could slot in there. It's just about figuring out who it is, right? It's just about figuring out who it is. ESPN thanks, Jor. Yeah, Jor, great recommendation for those not aware. Jor put it in here earlier. Not the article, but just let everybody know that ESPN has a fantastic article up about the kind of process of Nick Saban's retirement, how the coaching search began. And it's very well done. Fantastic read. Let's go into practice number 2. What are we excited to see? Well, honestly, it's practice number 2. You know what I mean? We're just excited that there's football back. I don't think that we're looking to learn the intricacies of the Alabama offense or the new Alabama defense. Like, as fans, I don't think that we're going to be learning every deep nuance into all of this, but I also don't think that's the point. Whenever we look at these practices, it's just about acclimation. It's just about getting used to the guys next to you and implementing new systems. That way, whenever fall camp gets here, you really take off and run. Now, in a perfect world, you have guys really start to exemplify, we understand what's being asked of us in spring. In a perfect world, you start generating fantastic competitions in the spring. Now, sometimes those competitions are answered in the spring, but I think most of the time they end up going until fall camp, and that's perfectly fine. Alabama's in a position where they begin their spring practice number 2. There's plenty of questions, but as there are plenty of questions, ladies and gentlemen, there are plenty of answers. What do I mean when I say that? Well, we're going to talk about this further whenever we talk about Bama's new defense, but talking about the offensive line, I think that's also a great place to start. Are there questions about Alabama's offensive line? Of course. I don't think that there's a unit on Alabama's offense that features more questions than does the offensive line. It's an offensive line that over the previous 3 years has averaged a rank of 99th in the nation. They've averaged over 30 sacks a year allowed over 3 years. So this isn't a problem that just originated last year. This is a problem that dates back to the Doug Marrone days. This is a problem that has been consistent, and it is a problem that can no longer be allowed to exist. The fact that Alabama made it where they made it last year, I've said this so many times, and I'm going to continue saying it. Because I think Alabama fans, we as a group need to take that step back, that collective sigh, and really look objectively. For Alabama to end up where they did last year with an offensive line that in terms of sacks allowed was 129th out of 133, that's incredible. The basic rules of football say if you get dominated at the line of scrimmage, you're probably going to get dominated in the game. It's one of the reasons why I always thought, I'm sorry if there's any LSU fans in here, you're about to catch a stray. It's always one of the reasons why I thought it was so hilarious. Ed Ogeron's last season, where he walked into UCLA's stadium saying, "Oh, you got your shishy blue colors on," only for his team, and he was he was a trench guy, only for his team to get manhandled in the trenches by UCLA. Absolutely manhandled out there. That basic principle proves true time and time again. Yet Alabama, over the course of the 3 years, has been able to maintain a level of success really, I think, maybe unheard of relative to offensive line struggles. I don't think we can think of too many other teams whose offensive line struggled not for 1 year, not for one sequence of a year, but for an entirety of a year, for multiple years, the way Alabama's did, yet Alabama continued being a successful team. I don't know that you can give me another team that was able to say that they could do that or they did do that. If you can, by all means, please, undefeated, put it in the chat. I can't think of one off the top of my head. I can't think of one off the top of my head. But the reason why I want to start with the offensive line whenever I have this juxtaposition of questions and answers is, yes, there are questions on the offensive line, but there are also answers on the offensive line. As Jor pointed out, you had the 3 guys working out in the interior. I pointed out, I think Parker Brailsford is going to be a phenomenal addition to this offensive line. There are your answers. You got 3 out of 5 right now. Answers. And if Brockermeyer is pushing Brailsford, well, then that's just great. That's just good news, right? Don't think that's bad news. That would be good news because that means he's taken massive steps forward in his development. That's good news. So you got 3 answers right there. And I think most of you know me. I'm not a doomer anyways. I like to look at things with the glass half full. Right? That's just kind of my approach to things. While you still have questions as to what tackles look like, you have got so much talent there. And it's going to be a lot of fun to see what that looks like. So for practice number 2, it's not about making sure everything is situated today. It's about building towards that. And from what we've heard from Coach DeBoer, from the energy, it seems like that's going to be the case. Now, one thing that I'm very excited about is the quarterback room as a whole. I'm excited for Jalen Milroe. I'm excited for Lonergan. I'm excited for Austin Mack. I'm excited for Ty Simpson. I'm excited for the quarterback room as a whole. Because I have not held back in stating I believe this staff is going to take Milroe to an entirely different level. He hasn't had the quarterback coaches working with him over the previous 2 years that he has now. I think they're going to take him to the next level. But I think that same argument applies for everybody. Gotcha, Jor. Gotcha. Well, hopefully Brockermeyer's really taken some steps forward in terms of his development, right? Because if that's the case, that's great news. If it's a position where it's a battle, I wouldn't look at that as bad news. I would hope that but yeah, listen, I think one thing we did learn last year is you hope that you have more than one at every position on the offensive line that's capable of the job. That's what you really hope for, that you have more than one at every position that's capable of the job. Remember, Roberts was not one of the original starters. Only furthering my point that you need to make sure you're 2, 3 deep if you can help it, but you want to be 2 deep because Roberts wasn't one of the original starters last year. You can't tell me that he's not one of the best offensive linemen out there. All right, that's what that depth means. That's what that depth means. And Dwight, you're right. We don't know what we have on the outside, but I am hopeful that they are going to be able to get it situated. Hopefully, Cap is able to turn this around. He was able to start some turnarounds in his career, and hopefully, Alabama is the next one. So, going to be very interesting to see. Let's dive into some recruiting, ladies and gentlemen. Had to be the worst. Yeah, that was tough. That Michigan game is like a case study in and of itself. Of just like when it rains, it pours. That game is going to live in infamy to Alabama fans. Undeservedly so. Undeservedly so. Let's talk about recruiting because it is a big week. Big week. So, you have some real talented prospects making their way to Tuscaloosa. What's new? Well, if you asked opposing fan bases across the nation, they would have you believe that Kalen DeBoer and company has never recruited a peanut, that they can't recruit, that they're incapable of recruiting, that this staff that he's assembled, it's not good to recruit, not only in the SEC. If you listen to opposing fan bases, they'd have you believing this staff couldn't recruit in the group of 5. But ladies and gentlemen, the facts are not supporting those statements. Not even close. The facts are stating this staff is off and running and that they're impressing people. You listen to what these recruits are saying. And Alabama is standing out. People want to hear the pitch. I have talked about this so many times, and I think there's this notion when I bring it up that, oh, this doesn't apply because we're talking. The fear of missing out is a real thing, ladies and gentlemen. Think about the viral trends that grasp our nation. The fear of missing out is a real thing. And if these prospects can take a visit to Alabama to understand what the pitch is all about, they are going to do so because they don't want to be the person that didn't receive the pitch. Patriot Life coming in here with the 5 gifted Bama football on YouTube with Kyle Henderson memberships. Patriot Life, as I said yesterday, I'm not very good at math, so I've lost count. And in fairness, after we get to 25, that's where my math starts getting real shaky, right? Let's just be honest. There's a reason why I'm a talker. I'm a writer. I'm not a math guy. But I do know Patriot Life in all seriousness. Thank you very much for the support. You have been fantastic. You have gifted so many subs to members of the Undefeated. And not only do they appreciate it, I appreciate it. We appreciate what you've been able to do for us, and the support you've given is unbelievable. Thank you very much for that, Patriot Life. Thank you very much for that, Patriot. Yeah, that's awesome, Patriot. Thank you very much for that. That's incredible. I wish I was better at math. That way I could keep track. But like I said, we all have our strengths. We all have our weaknesses. Mine's numbers. What are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? So when we look at the recruiting, I really truly do think that the fear of missing out is big. Do you think we get a commitment or 2 this weekend? If so, who do you think commits? Ooh, that's a good one, Shane. That's a good one. I think Bama will exit the weekend with, at the very least, a silent. I do. I think Bama will exit the weekend with at the very. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, whenever you hear me, I love giving my opinion on Alabama football. I'm not an insider. That's not what I do. I read tea leaves. I've been fairly okay at it. All right, I watch, I try and pay attention. I'm no insider. So this is purely my opinion. I think that they will, I think that they are going to get some silence, right? Because it's still so new for a lot of people. If this was visit number 2 or something, I think you might be seeing some guys pop. But because one, it's so early in the recruiting process. We're in March. We're in March. We got a year, right? And two, because so many of these guys, it's their first time meeting the new staff. I could see silence. I could see several silence. Now, someone like a Zion Grady, he was at one point committed. Freddie Roach is still there to kind of continue pushing that relationship forward. Someone who is formally committed. It's one of the reasons with Antonio Coleman, whenever he flipped back, we here at Bama Football on YouTube, we're like, yeah, that makes sense, right? Even if you didn't hear anything inside, was, well, you still have Roach, and he's been there, so he's got relationships that are already in the program. When he flipped back, it was like, okay, that makes sense. Zion Grady, I'm not saying he's going to flip back. That's not my contention here, Chris. I'm just saying that same type of logic, right? It makes sense where it's like there are still people in the building, there are people you don't know. If the people you don't know knock it out the park and prove to you, no, this is still the place you want to be, and actually with the new scheme change, you might be allowed to just purely attack. And that might be, that might be easier to recruit towards. How many times over the past few years, ladies and gentlemen, has Alabama lost on a recruit, not because the recruit didn't want to go to Alabama, but because other schools were negative recruiting Alabama's scheme? Not that it didn't work either, because I know there's going to be someone out there say, how could you negative recruit Alabama's scheme? Look at where they constantly ranked as one of the best defenses in college football and the development. They weren't negative recruiting Alabama's development. They weren't negative recruiting Alabama's results. That's facetious. They were negative recruiting to prospects, especially along the defensive front, saying, hey, you could go there, do what you do, but if you come here, you're going to be allowed to really go one-on-one. We're going to allow you to just rush the passer. Like, you're going to be able to showcase what you do better instead of having to go through a checklist, right? There was just a fantastic interview on 3. JD Pickell had Duke on, and they were talking about some of the things that the prospects had been saying. And this is kind of what he was talking about, right? Like, that there are a lot of prospects that are really interested in hearing this pitch. And he thought that Alabama's new scheme, the fact that it was simpler, it's faster, you're going to allow your defensive fronts to maximize these guys, that's going to be a recruiting asset. So I know it sounds weird for me to say the defensive scheme switch can be a selling point because you're coming from Nick Saban. Nobody's negative recruiting Nick Saban's development, his defensive results, any of that. They would negative recruit Alabama, the defensive front guys, for instance, a JT Tuimoloau. He chose Ohio State. I remember that battle. We talked about this the other day, that one of the big things in that battle was him being told, like, okay, well, you could go to Bama and drop into coverage, or you could come and rush the passer and attack. What do you want to do? Do you want to drop into coverage a bunch, or do you want to come here and attack? Like, those are pitches that happened all the time. That happens all the time. Because you're not going to negative recruit the results. What are you going to say? Oh, that's Nick Saban. He's got more active NFL players than some conferences. Don't go to him. He sent, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't negative recruit that. So you have to negative recruit something. It was the complexity of the scheme, the complexity of Saban's defense, because Nick Saban was running the most complex defense in college football. Exactly, Kenneth. Exactly. And he still dropped into coverage in Ohio State. Exactly. But I think the basic pitch is like rates, right? Like, how often are you going to do it? But that's been something that people have negative recruited Alabama on for a while, because they have nothing else to negative recruit Alabama on. And now you're going to a defensive formation that's more akin to what a lot of these places were saying to these prospects. It's going to be fascinating to see what it looks like. Going to be absolutely fascinating. We also have got a 5-star wide receiver, if I'm not mistaken, currently in Tuscaloosa. Eric, my man, happy you're here on this Wednesday morning. You got a 5-star wide receiver currently in Tuscaloosa, and I have made it no secret how excited I am for wide receiver recruiting under the tutelage of one Coach Shepard. Now, listen, Holloman Wiggins was a great recruiter. He did great things for Alabama, but Coach Shepard, I think that this is a fantastic direction to go in for this new team. One, he won me over whenever he got Ryan Williams back in the class. Easy, right? He already won me over. Two, the production his wide receivers have had, notable. And he was the passing game coordinator for Coach Kalen DeBoer at Washington, meaning he is very familiar with the passing game, how it ticks, how to be successful. You guys know I love that. You guys know I love that. Three, have you guys seen the videos of him? No, seriously. Have you guys seen the videos of Shepard? Every time the university releases some of these videos of the players working out, I would run through a brick wall for Shepard. So today, 5-star wide receiver in town, Caleb Cunningham out the state of Mississippi. What do you need to know about Caleb Cunningham? First and foremost, if we look at the 24/7 Sports composite, he is the number 10 player in the nation, regardless of position. The number 2 wide receiver and the number 1 player in the state of Mississippi. He stands 6'3", 180 pounds. So he is that taller, more physical build, which we talked about this yesterday. If you've been paying attention, that seems to be a theme. That seems to be a bit of a trend amongst the wide receivers that Coach Kalen DeBoer, Coach Shepard are going after. Now, something else you need to know about Caleb Cunningham. Yesterday, he received a crystal ball prediction to none other than Ole Miss. And if you look at the recruiting industry, there are 2 predictions in his favor. One to Ole Miss and the others to Mississippi State. So right now the battle looks to be trying to get him out of the state of Mississippi. Can Alabama do that? Well, the answer to that question is of course. Of course, Alabama can do that. But this is always why, and this is one of the reasons why I love recruiting so much. What do you value? No, seriously, what do you value? And the reason why I ask you that is I want to get you in the mind frame of a recruit. What do you value? Is it NIL? Is it playing time? Is it development? Is it playing in your home state? Because if you have always dreamed of staying home and being the hero of your home state, that's awesome. That's unbelievable. And I can't wait to watch your journey unfold. I can't wait to talk about your journey, watch you succeed. That's unbelievable. I love that. But if you're not dying to stay home, if that's not a must for you, then the answer is unequivocally yes, Alabama can get him. The only way you would hear me say no is if he came out and stated from the jump, I'm not visiting anywhere that's not a Mississippi school because it's been my dream since I was a kid to play college ball in my state that I'm currently standing in. Then sure, hats off to you. That's awesome. That's so cool. I think that's great. That's not been what's said. So yes, the battle right now is getting him out of the state of Mississippi. But at the point where you're visiting schools outside of the state of Mississippi, that to me inherently shows at some level you're good with leaving. You're at least good with hearing what's out there. And that's awesome. But then we get into if you're a wide receiver, this is going to be a very tough pitch to say no to. Because yesterday we talked about something else that are massive to wide receivers that we don't really talk about a lot. We talk about Shepard, how he's the wide receiver coach. He's infectious, his energy, his relationship building, and his production. If you're a wide receiver and you get to sit down with him, unbelievable. There's your first factor. Factor number 2, Kalen DeBoer and the offense you'll be playing in. Kalen DeBoer was a former wide receiver himself, ladies and gentlemen. He understands the position. He knows the position. He understands what it takes to succeed. If you're a wide receiver, not only are you going to be taught by Shepard, but you're going to be in Kalen DeBoer's offense. He was a wide receiver. And finally, Finally, we get to a finally, we get to the last factor that are massive for wide receivers. The one that we don't talk about enough. The one that I began the conversation on yesterday. And this is why I began that conversation, ladies and gentlemen. What does your quarterback room look like? Not only in terms of who are you recruiting, what does your quarterback room look like? Well, I'm glad you asked what our quarterback room looks like, Caleb, because if we look at this, number one, you have who I believe will be the starter this year, Jalen Milroe, right? I think he's going to massively improve. I think that if all the quarterbacks are pushing each other in the spring, that is an unbelievable story for me. Can't wait to hear it. But you have Jalen Milroe. You have Dylan Lonergan. And this is in no particular order. You have Dylan Lonergan. You have Ty Simpson. You have Austin Mack. If we assume, like I assume, Jalen Milroe is going to continue his trajectory, continue developing under the tutelage of this fantastic staff, he will be NFL bound next year. He will be making an NFL team very happy in 1 year. Okay? So, because Caleb Cunningham's not going to be on campus until 2025, the question must be asked, who's going to be throwing me the ball? Because Milroe, he's probably going to go to the NFL. If he builds on the year he had last year, he's going to the NFL. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, gone. NFL going to be making the big bucks. But then if you're a wide receiver, you're still looking at it and saying, okay, so you just sent one of your quarterbacks to the NFL draft. And oh, yeah, on your roster, you still have a top 10 quarterback in Dylan Lonergan. You still have a top 10 quarterback in Austin Mack. And you still have a 5-star in Ty Simpson. Oh, and by the way, who are you pushing after right now? Who are you recruiting? A 5-star quarterback, Juju Lewis. You're going after Deuce Knight, a blue chip guy. And you're going after KJ Lacey, or at least you could be going after KJ Lacey. I don't know where they stand with the KJ Lacey. I don't want to be putting anything out there that's not accurate. You could be going after KJ Lacey. I'm not sure what that looks like right now, but I do know two quarterbacks that have been coming and checking it out. Juju Lewis, Deuce Knight. Okay. So that's the last conversation we don't talk about when it comes to wide receivers. What does the future of the quarterback position look like? Because I can't throw myself the ball. Though that'd be really cool if you could. You'd make a lot of money. That'd be fun. But you can't throw yourself the ball. So for these wide receivers, Alabama has always been a desirable place for wide receivers. I think Alabama is wide receiver U, but I also am biased towards Alabama. What I can say with full confidence is if we gathered fans from all across the nation here, Alabama would be unquestionably in the conversation for wide receiver. You might hear some people say, oh, LSU. You might hear some people say Ohio State. You might hear some people say USC. I think Ohio State recruits the wide receiver position as well as anybody in the nation. LSU has done fantastic things. So, yeah, LSU, they've been great. Nobody has developed the way Alabama has. That wide receiver position. 5 first-rounders in 3 years from the wide receiver room. That's unbelievable. And that's just first-rounders. We're not talking production. I actually went and looked at this whenever I was looking at some of these wide receivers. And I forget the numbers because I don't, unfortunately, we started a brand new notebook today, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't have my old notebook filled with all of my old stats and stuff. So unfortunately, I don't have it. But I went back and looked how many receivers teams had sent to the NFL draft. And what I found was that Alabama had sent more receivers in the first round of the NFL draft than some schools who will try and insert themselves into the conversation of wide receiver U have sent within the same time frame period. Bama has sent more first-round wide receivers than some schools who will try and claim wide receiver U have sent, period, in the same time frame. It's actually insane when you look at what Alabama, because you think of Alabama, you think of defense, right? I think that's the natural inclination because you had Nick Saban. And maybe that's because I love defense so much that that's where my mind goes. But when I think Alabama, the first thing I think of is like Rolando McClain. I think of Hightower. I think of Minka. I think of Eddie Jackson. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't take me long to get to Julio, right? But defense, and that's probably a personal thing with me. But you look at it, and Alabama with the wide receiver position has been incredible. And Alabama truly is NFLU. I was listening to the sports station here in Atlanta yesterday, and they called Georgia running back U. Listen, Georgia has had great running backs at the college level, and some of those guys have gone on to do great things in the NFL. Sure. Right? Like, but Bama over the past few years, they actually just looked at how many yards and how many touchdowns. Bama's lapping the field in terms of running back production in the NFL right now. That one's not a conversation currently as we're sitting here. The running back that's not a conversation. That's not possibly a conversation. It's not. Not currently. Bama was like, Jor, and Moon Rocka. I know y'all have the numbers. Wasn't it Bama was like 14,000 yards ahead of number 2? They had an X amount of years, all the guys from your university, right? How many yards they had accrued in the NFL, how many touchdowns. Alabama was like 12 to 14,000 yards ahead of number 2. They were at like 34,000 yards. Number 2 was at like 21,000 yards. And then everything else was like 1,000 yards off of each other. So you had all of these schools, Georgia, I forget who all was in there. You had all these schools within like a couple thousand yards of each other. And then you had Alabama absolutely lapping the field. It wasn't close. So listen, Georgia has some very great running backs that have came through there. I love a lot of their games. I'm not going to take away from that. But I also try and be as objective as possible. And objectively speaking, Bama's lapping the field in running backs right now. Listen, we as Alabama fans, we believe we're NFLU because we are NFLU. Once again, objectively speaking, you have the most active players in the NFL right now. You've earned the title. Cool. Right? There are areas where a school could say like, hey, we think we get the title of whatever you at that position group. Like, we are this you. And it's like, okay, whenever Lincoln Riley was at that string of quarterbacks, right, at OU, I mean, you were going to argue with them saying you're not quarterback you when you had all those. You get what I'm saying? So there are other schools out there that can claim X you. You can put them in the conversation. You can say, oh, you guys are that. Running back, that's not close. I'm sorry. Looking at what is happening in the NFL right now, over the course of the last 5 years, Bama's running back you. The production backs it up. That is what it is. I would love to see an all Saban team versus an all Kirby team. Post it in X and debate. That'd be fun, Jermaine. That'd be a lot of fun. Rich said Bama had 38K. Thank you very much, Rich. Second was like 24K. And then if I'm not mistaken, Rich wasn't third like 23,000 or 22,000. The only reason I'm interested in third is to actually show and to give you all in the undefeated the visual of number 1 was Bama at 38,000. Number 2 was 24,000. And I think number 3 was like 22,000. So you could see where there was a jump in the production, and it wasn't from 2 to 3. And if I'm not mistaken, Georgia was 2. Georgia was 2 or 3. They were there, but nobody on the list was close to Alabama. Objectively speaking, that's just a fact. Right? That's just a fact. I might not like the fact that Alabama gave up as many sacks as they did last year. I might not like the fact that Alabama ranked 129th in the nation in sacks allowed. Whether I like that or not, it doesn't change that that was the reality of the situation, right? The same can be said for this. People can think that, oh, we're running back you. That's great. You can think that. You might not like you might not like what the stats say, but it's there. We can't do anything to change that. That's just the real of the situation. So, love that. Great conversation. Great conversation. And Jermaine, this right here is a great topic. I actually am going to star this, Jermaine, because I think that here in the coming year, that's going to be a great one. Okay, I was wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I was wrong about something. Rich is correcting me here, and thank you very much for this, Rich, because it helps prove my point even further. So, first was Alabama at 38K. Second was 24K. Third was 20K, and then 16K for fourth, which was Georgia. Bama had over double. Yeah, I thought they were third. Rich, thank you very much for that. For some reason, I remember Georgia being third on that list, and thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that. They were fourth. Bama had over double the rushing yards in the NFL. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Listen, I think that the running backs that they have put in the NFL are fantastically talented players. Would love for them to play for my favorite NFL team. I'm not arguing that. Third, Ohio State. Okay. I thought they were third, but you know how that goes, Rich, right? Like you start looking at so many lists, and then the next thing you know, you're listing like the top sandwich ingredients and the all-time leading passer just because that's where we are. That's where we are. Let's talk about Bama's new defense. You know, one of the themes we've been talking about throughout this whole stream is that there are questions and that there are answers. Well, we've had so many questions. We've spent so much time, and deservedly so. I'm not saying we've spent too much time talking about the questions. I come from a place where I don't think you can spend too much time trying to answer questions. That was what the job field I was in was, right? So there are questions about the secondary. But ladies and gentlemen, as there are questions, there so too exist answers. Where are the answers in the defense? First and foremost, the inside linebacker position. You have Agent Zero and you have number 11, Jahad Campbell, Deontay Lawson. Right? You have those two cats right there at the inside linebacker position. That's an answer. That's an answer. We look at the front, right? Yeah, people in chat saying Ohio State might be D lineman U. And see, this is exactly undefeated. This is why I love y'all so much. This is exactly what I meant earlier when I was like, listen, you might be able to look at defensive line and say, okay, Bama's in the conversation, Georgia's in the conversation, Ohio State's in the conversation. And that's completely fair. Discussions to be had. Right? Discussions to be had. Those are conversations where it's like, okay, what are we doing here? Right? That's fair. But running back, that's just like, okay, guys. I'll grant you conversations where conversations are to be had. There's not a conversation to be had at running back. And I don't mean guys as in anybody in the undefeated. I mean like pejorative. Y'all know what I mean. You guys in the undefeated know what I mean. If we I'd say Clemson is defensive line U. They had a hell of a run, didn't they, DeAndre? A hell of a run. Insane. When Todd Bates was there. And really, their defensive line production, you know, they lost a fantastic defensive line coach in Todd Bates. And their defensive line production is still pretty darn good. They did a really good job. Dwight says, I don't think the defense will be a true 4-2-5. The personnel will be of the 3-4. I'm excited to see what it looks like, for sure. Excited to see for a few years though. But this is the point, right? Of what I was just saying, undefeated. There lies positions, whether that's quarterback you or defensive line you or inside linebacker you or kicker you, where we can have these discussions. Oh, it's this team, it's this team, it's this team. And those are fun, right? When we really start having those discussions, those are fun. Ironically, Alabama finds their way into almost every position group discussion. Almost every position group discussion, you're not going to be looked at crazy if you say, "Oh, well, what about Alabama?" You're not going to be the person who gets slapped away from the table, right? It's not like you're out there talking about something and you say, "What about Vanderbilt?" And everybody at the table looks at you and they say, "Leave. Get out." So, it's a fun discussion to be had. Continuing on our answers. Dabo did have some monsters. Continuing on our answers. You have the inside linebacker. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm ready to say it right now. I think that the interior of the defensive line is going to be a major, major answer. A major answer. And let's unpack this. Let's unpack this because you've got some intriguing talent there. You have Tim Keenan and you have Jaheim, now spelled with an E, Otis, up front, who I think many people expect that to be kind of your starting 1-2 tandem in the interior. But here's where I think Alabama fans need to be so excited. Behind them, you have got a ton. Marquita, thank you for becoming a member. You've been a staple of the community over here, so it's awesome that you're still with us, rocking out over here on Bama Football on YouTube with Kyle Henderson. Great to have you still. You've been with us for a long time. So when we look, you have those two I just talked about up front. But then behind them, you have guys like Eric says. You have Payne. You have James Smith. You have Edric Hill. You have Tim Smith, right? Like you've got a lot of names there. You actually have got a lot of names on this interior that I'm interested in. Jeremiah Beeman just comes in. Now he's going to, she's going to, or he's going, I started looking at George's comment. She's back even though she's not here right now. Yeah. The interior of that defensive front has got a lot of names in there. Now, if Tim Keenan continues on the trajectory that he was on last season, and if Otis, who finally can be 100% healthy going into this year, can get back more to his natural position, those two on the interior, oh my word. I think if those guys continue developing the way we think, that's going to be awesome. Now, Eric says Jordan Renaud. I completely agree about Renaud. My only question there, Eric, is could he slide out to that other position and be pushing a LT Overton? That's my only question with Renaud, is because he has got that fantastic versatility to his game. He's someone who I could see with a Jamarian Latham going out to that position and all battling with LT Overton for who starts there. That's going, I don't know that to be the case, Eric. As always, that's just me theorizing, me giving my opinion. But that is going to be something I'm watching, is seeing him on that outside. He's a little light. Edric Hill. I had people who I had some content creators reach out to me whenever Edric Hill committed to Alabama. And the consensus I got from people who cover recruiting in the YouTube sphere, right? And even from some people who cover recruiting for publications, they were reaching out to me saying, "Hey, you guys just got one. You guys just got a monster. Like, this kid's going to develop into something disgusting. He's going to be a problem up front." So very excited about that. But that's the thing. There are questions on defense, sure, but there are answers. We missing the talk about LT Overton. Oh, Zach, we were just talking about LT Overton and how Jamarian Latham And Renaud could be pushing him for that edge position, or that, you get what I mean. The defensive end, taking over where Justin Eboigbe left off. I think LT Overton is an unbelievable asset to this team. I've actually said, Zach, on several occasions, I think he is the transfer portal guy that we don't talk enough about. I think that he could be a massive answer to this defense. A&M had him out of position, and now he's getting back to his regular position. Former number 1 player in the nation before reclassifying. After reclassifying, remained a top 20 player in the nation. And for those of you that cover recruiting, for those of you that follow recruiting, I should say, you know how wild that is. We've seen guys reclassify, but if you maintain 5-star status after reclassifying, that's insane. Like, that is actually kind of insane. So I'm excited to see what he was able to do this year, now that he's at his more natural position, because A&M, in my opinion at least, A&M was playing him out of position. I'm very excited for him to come in and get going. It's going to be a great addition to this defensive front. I can see Q-Rob and Overton as our edges, and I love it. Hey, Quindarius Robinson's going to have himself an offseason. Can't wait to hear about it. Also, don't forget about Cott and Keon Keeley. He's going to be chomping at the bit to get out there. You already know he is. Former number 2 player in the nation coming out of high school. He's going to want to see the field. He's going to be pushing to see the field. I'm excited to see what that room looks like. But I've said this time and time again, ladies and gentlemen, that pass rush group that Alabama has might be the deepest room in all of college football. In the whole of college football, that might be the deepest room in it all. So much talent. So much talent. George says Q-Rob, Caught, Keeley, and Overton will be the rotation. That'd be a fantastic rotation. And with that, the man, the myth, the legend, Kyle Henderson, back with us. Kyle, how you doing? Good to see you again.
Yeah, what's up, man? Good segment. I was trying to read as fast as I could. Well, actually, I went downstairs and I made me some breakfast, and so I had to. So like, I'm real. I'm like super regimented, and like since we put you at 8, and like when I work out in the morning, so I'm like trying to manage all that stuff. But I was like also quickly trying to read the article by Chris Lowe. It's an amazing article. The crazy thing is like it has so many different elements to it. One of the things that stood out is like how pissed off Saban was about how the team acted in the locker room. Do you see that? Like, so if you haven't read this article, go check it out. So Alabama loses to Michigan. People are pissed off and, all this stuff. We all saw it. But Coach Saban said when they went into the locker room, they were like throwing their helmets, and he was just, he wasn't like, this was the main reason I left. He was just like, he was pissed off about it. And then it says that it was between Kalen DeBoer and Mike Norvell, right, Ty?
Yeah, and I think that kind of took me by surprise because, which I guess it shouldn't, right? I mean, it would make sense because I thought that if it wasn't Kalen DeBoer, the guy that they would probably lean on the most would be Sark.
Yeah.
But I also think that that's probably Texas has the ability to pay him all of the money in the world.
Sure,
You know what I
sure.
mean? And it makes sense because he's starting his own thing. And so now he gets to create his own legacy instead of like following Nick Saban. So I understand. But yeah, that part caught me by surprise. You know me, I'm very happy we got DeBoer. Mike Norvell is a great coach, but DeBoer, me.
Yeah, and I mean, it just looked like, kind of reading the article, that Coach Saban really had to wrestle with that idea of, whether to retire or not, and had to go down to Jupiter, Florida, and talk with Miss Terry about it and figure out if that was the direction he wanted to go. He felt that Alabama would be really good this year, clearly, right? I mean, he said that they were returning like 80% of their players or whatever. He returning quarterback, key components on it. And you got to think about it. If Coach Saban comes back and he doesn't retire, think about all the guys who probably stay, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
not only in terms of players, but staff.
Yeah. And I don't think like you have, yeah, thank you. Yes, exactly. So, and you definitely don't have all those guys leaving from the secondary because like he is the secondary guy. I don't know. It was good. And how about the pressure of Greg Byrne to make this hire? I think sometimes I think people in Alabama now understand who Coach Kalen DeBoer is a little bit, but like he was just played like he's just in the national championship game. Like this was a hell of a hire in such a short term. And I think Coach Kalen DeBoer was able to see that this is an opportunity of a lifetime. Like no matter who you're following, whatever, like you don't turn down Alabama. I mean, look, in no way is what I did, clearly like anything compared to like college football. But when I was offered the opportunity to move to Tuscaloosa 8 years ago, I had a thriving business in New Mexico, and I just bought a home that I thought I was going to stay in for a long time, like a really beautiful home. And then when but coming to Alabama is different. Like this is the standard. And I at that time I spoke to my wife, my kids, made the decision to I don't have you don't have family here at all. My mom is actually in town visiting from New Mexico, from Santa Fe. But other than that, you take that, you look to that opportunity as like an opportunity of a lifetime to cover Alabama football. Like this is the biggest college football market in the country, period.
The Mecca.
This is the Mecca. Like there's no, like I get it. What Texas has going on is amazing. What Georgia has going on is amazing. But Georgia is not as big as this market because of the pro teams in Atlanta. So you have to kind of balance. Now they may be up there with the pro teams for sure, but there is not one pro sport here in the state of Alabama. Right? There's not.
Exactly.
So so that's why it's like, I mean, there's so many Alabama football fans. I mean, it's a big state, and there's only one. This is the pro team.
Exactly. And listen, we can talk about this with other teams, right? Like, I think you make a great example with both Texas and Georgia, because I think that the reason those two examples are so brilliant, Kyle, is they are both massive market teams.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Massive market teams. Like the names you would put up there against an Alabama. But in Texas, how many other Division I Power 5 schools do you have just in college? I mean, goodness, great. UNT. We don't know about UNT. They're Division I. Mm-hmm. Right? Like you have so much pulling at the Texas resources plus pro teams.
That's what I'm saying. Like think about like the Dallas Metroplex. Even like, so you have like your pro teams, right? Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, right? And then you have you also have like all of the universities where all the reporters are as well, covering the teams and whatnot. And then think about this. In Texas, we all know this, like the high school coverage as well is incredible.
Yeah.
Right. So you have kind of like your up and coming stars or maybe even tenured stars covering high school football as well, making an amazing living. So that's where kind of your resources are. Whereas in Tuscaloosa, like in Alabama, like this is the biggest show in the entire state. And it's still, Alabama is still the catapult for ESPN. There's no other thing about it. How many press conferences do they show across the country of any other coach? Why don't they put Dabo Swinney, or why don't they put Steve Sarkisian or Kirby Smart? All the success that he's had, why don't we see him more on ESPN? The only person that we hear about on ESPN it's crazy because it's still Coach Saban now that he's been hired, but it's still going to be Alabama football. Like, you don't think ESPN is going to have like a presence today at the open practice? They're everywhere. They streamed the press conference on their site.
Well, to take it a step further, Kyle, how many other coaches in college football had a weekly show with Pat McAfee?
Thank you. That's a fantastic point. Fantastic, right? I'll be curious to see if that carries over with Kalen DeBoer. I don't know, but it's the brand. That's a fantastic point. Like they see the value with Alabama Crimson Tide football. There's no other coach. Like these guys all do a great job and whatever, but like no other, like Alabama drives everything. Biggest media market and millions and millions of views.
It's true.
So, yeah, it's wild. It's amazing. Just to kind of see. And yeah, it was I love the article. Great article. It's just so talented. So if you have, but you need like 10, I need a little bit to read it because it's a lengthy article.
Yeah, she's a little bit chunky.
Yeah, she is chunky. Yeah, you got to kind of go through it. But yeah,
I was speed reading it before we
me
got
too.
on here.
I
That's
was
why you
kind of
saw
going
me
through
just
like,
like,
different quotes, and then I was like, should I tweet this out about, the players' locker room? But like anything emotional that you tweet is never good. And I wasn't trying to be emotional. It's just like people right now, I think for the most part, like last night, Twitter was a violent space. People were getting because what happens is the emotion is tied after like the basketball team. So, it's like kind of like a sound off.
oh no.
Like the basketball team, man, that was a rough outing last night. I mean, you lose to Florida, you allow 100 points again on the road. Man, that's tough. Basketball fans are mad this morning. Yikes.
I get it too, because
Yeah.
it's just like you don't know what you're going to get, right? Like, at least with consistency, you're consistently bad, you're consistently mid, or you're consistently good. That's fine. Like, I have an expectation of a
Yeah.
standard. Like right now with Bama basketball, and I'm no college football or college football. I'm no college basketball. You can see where my mind is already. I'm no college basketball expert, but the lack of consistency just drives me
Yeah.
up a wall.
And the thing is with Alabama basketball is I think people like know how good they can be, and then they have like, it's like this wave, and then they play so many games, and then they lost 2 in a row. So it's tough. But think about this with basketball. I mean, like the SEC tournament is coming up. All right, if they lose that a game in there, if they win it, what does it mean? The only games that really matter in college basketball is like when you get to the actual tournament, because then it's do or die. So up until then, that's why basketball can be a little bit maddening because you're good, bad, good, bad, good, good, bad, 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 good. It's just I don't know. But what's up, everybody inside the comment box? What's up, Undefeated? I see everybody inside. We have a ton of green. Green means that you are a fan funder, and we appreciate you guys being a fan funder, supporting our content right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I dropped a little video this morning on social media on Twitter, basically giving you kind of the outline, what to watch today during Alabama's open window. Now, it's not the entire practice that we get to watch. It's like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whenever they kind of, they let us out there, we can see. I don't even know if it'll be like individual. This is all new, but we will record it and then we will post it on our YouTube channel. So you guys will get a ton of access. We have 2 cameras there. So, I mean, if we have 2 hours of footage or an hour of footage, I'm going to upload it all, right? I'm not going to do it with the phone. I'm going to we have 2 cameras. We're going to go heavy on it. So just be patient, and we'll make sure to package that accordingly. But Ty, hell of a segment as always, man. I appreciate having you here. You do a great job for us, and yeah, we always look forward to you leading off for us right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Please follow Ty Hayes, Around the Table Sports. Got a really great YouTube channel. Does a great job, and we always appreciate you rocking with us, Ty.
Man, unbelievable to be here. As always, thank you for the opportunity. Everybody in the Undefeated, thank you as always. Run the likes up. You already know. I'll be here tomorrow. Kick it off once again. And tomorrow we're going to have some practice stuff to talk about when you and I kick it off, Kyle. I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we'll have like some B-roll for you at the bottom as well that you can scrub through. So you'll have like your graphic, and then I'll give you like a quick run through. But if you want like just some footage playing as well, I'll show you how you can do that. So you just kind of mix it up.
Beautiful. Sounds good. Well, until next time, everybody, you already know the man's got you taken care of. Kyle's here. He's going to get you all the information you need. The man who made the platform. Take it away.
Appreciate it, man. All right. What's up, fam? Appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for being here right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I'm going to put some B-roll up, and away we go. Let me know where you guys are watching from inside the comment box. And of course, we have T here. T, say what's up.
Good morning, Undefeated.
We have T, of course, and appreciate everybody being here right here in the Undefeated. My name is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube, and you're going to see some B-roll that is from the past. We just like to play B-roll because I just like having B-roll going on in the background. But we're going to get new B-roll, and that is new footage coming your way today. So let me kind of explain how things will work today. In terms of the content that we will deliver right here on Bama Football on YouTube. So this will be Alabama's second practice, and the media is able to watch practice for around 30 minutes. We're going to get there at 2:30, strategize our plan. And then around, 3:25, 4 o'clock, whatever. We're going to get out. We're going to be able to watch Alabama practice for like 20 minutes. Let's just say 20 minutes. We will then get back, upload that footage, bring it to you on our YouTube channel. You guys just watch the footage, whatever. Then we will have interviews with the defensive coordinator, or I guess just defensive coaches, and then defensive players. Bring that up as well. And then we will bring that to you as well. And then we will upload a video, Smook and I talking about what we learned from practice. So you will get a lot of coverage. Then we will have our evening segment as well, going into the evening time. So appreciate you guys. And Alabama's final practice this week will be on Friday. Coach Smook will be bringing you those interviews. T and I are going to the beach and looking forward to it. T?
Yeah, get a little vacation. Be exciting.
Yeah, and we're just taking the whole week off, right?
Yeah, the whole week. No, we will be doing the show from the beach.
Yeah, so we'll be
you'll still see us.
Yeah, we will be coming to you from the beach, and we'll have our show every single day in the morning. So, same things. I might, you might not see me one of the mornings or whatever, but taking the kids down and looking forward to it. Even got grandma in tow. So it's going to be fun going down to the beach. Looking forward to it. Today, going to take your calls, and, call line is open. And eager to hear from you. Did you have an opportunity to read that article from Chris Lowe? Kind of just a little bit more about, I know you haven't read it yet, T, but curious to get your take as well. But, it was kind of like documenting, more on Coach Saban retiring, the process that went into hiring Kalen DeBoer, and that Kalen DeBoer, it was between Kalen DeBoer and looks like Mike Norvell. You imagine if Mike Norvell came? How would you guys feel? What if Mike Norvell was the coach? I don't know. T?
Yeah, I'm happy with who's our coach now.
Yeah, right.
I think, yeah, is what. Yeah, I'll say on that.
I don't know why. Look, people are probably gonna get pissed off. I feel like Coach Kalen DeBoer is a little bit more manly than Mike Norvell. I don't know. Maybe Mike Norvell is like this huge alpha. I don't know. I don't. I keep rewinding to where they were able, like the way he handled himself in the back end of the season.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know.
Yeah, he definitely pouted a little bit there.
So this, when we upload the content, there's like no idea. There's like no set. Like, I love schedules. I'm like, we're on at 9. It's going to be 9 a.m. The university is not like that. They'll be like, we'll bring you out at 4. We'll bring you out at 4:30. So it's just like, just be notified on when we like post the footage. And you can follow me on Twitter as well. I'll be like, footage is posted, go eat. But there's no, like, they told us 5:30 for the presser, and it was at 6:15. So you never know. Byron's like, T never goes to class.
So actually, most of my classes are online this semester. I only have 2 in-person classes. So, and one of them's only 1 day a week.
Yeah. So, but we have, today is a really big day for us. In fact, didn't you have a final today?
No, tomorrow.
Yeah. All right.
I did. It was supposed to be today, but I talked to my professor, and she's like, if you have any work conflicts, let us know. And I was like, yeah, this is not going to work today.
We got a call already on the line, and I think this might be Angel from Pigeon Forge. Hey, what's going on? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I line with, and where are you calling in from?
What's up, Kyle?
What's up, man? How's it going? Angel
It's,
from
Angel again, man.
Yeah, Angel from Pigeon Forge, man. What's up? We
Pigeon Forge,
appreciate
man.
you being here, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, last night, what I saw last night was the team that did not want to be there, and they really didn't show up that day. Last night when Florida lost to Florida, the only guy that was playing really hard out there was Mark Steers, and it's a shame too, because we have a good offensive scoring team, but they can't seem to play defense. And not only that, it's just embarrassing because last night, my buddy was watching it too. He started laughing at me because Alabama lost by double digits, so 100 points scored on him. And he's a Florida fan, so I'm like, damn, man, you got to ruin everything, man. But it's just, I don't know. This team, I don't think this team will go far playing like that in the tournament because they can't seem to play defense. And Nate Oates needs to change his offense up a little bit because we can't keep shooting these threes and missing them. like it was pretty bad last night. It was a shit show for sure. But I don't know. Something needs to happen with the coaching change, or either that, or change up the offense, because I'm sick and tired of like not scoring and then getting blown out again. I'm like, what do you think about that, man? Like, you think there's another offensive change or a new person coming in? Because I don't know, Nate Oates, man. I don't know. Sometimes he's good, some days he's bad. What do you think on that about what happened last night and what transpired with everyone getting mad and everything?
No, I think that Coach Oates is definitely the guy. I think any program out there would love to have a coach like Nate Oates. I think with basketball, and specifically talking about the SEC, it's been very challenging for Alabama to win on the road. You look to the games that they've lost on the road. I mean, a 20-point loss to Tennessee, losing on the road again to Florida, in which Kentucky. Kentucky as well. Those have all been marquee losses on the road. How can this team play in a neutral court setting? Well, they've played, a couple times and they haven't fared that well. So I guess like a simple question is, can this team play on a neutral court setting, in the month of March and in April?
Yeah.
I think overall this team has enough firepower to really compete with anybody. When they're hot, I still believe in this team.
Defense.
It was just, sometimes their perimeter defense just isn't it. But I'm not gonna, say that like you need like a new coach or anything like that. I think that that's a little bit much. But I think you just need to have, I still believe in this team. I really do. It's just, it was you took one on the chin last night for sure. It wasn't pretty, and there's not much more to say on that. I don't think like, and the thing about basketball is there's games. It's like, they just had a game the other night. Now they have a game against Florida. It's like the waves of it. And what does it mean? Is Alabama out of the tournament right now? No. Is Alabama still in the SEC tournament? Yes. If they lose in the SEC tournament, what does it mean? Nothing. Because you get so many opportunities to continue to play and continue to move on until you get to March Madness. So I don't know. I mean, the way that they played last night, they lose in the first round. The way that they play against Tennessee, that could be a Sweet 16 team.
Kentucky.
The way that they played, I don't know, against Auburn, when they're at home, that's a Final Four type team. So I don't know where this team is at, but I certainly think that they have enough talent to make, a moderate run in the NCAA tournament for sure.
Yeah, they need to play better defense and not shoot any threes. They should just change the whole offense up, make it easier, because every time we try to kick it out, it always gets either the pass gets like intercepted or, someone blocks it and you can't get the rebound. I just think you just need to take less threes, because I think it's better off, more guaranteed points in the paint. And we also need a better big man to hold the rim and block those shots, because Grant Nelson, I don't think he's a great defender. Like the way I saw him last night, he really wasn't a presence. And same thing with Pringle. But I just think we need a true big man, like an Edey guy. I don't care what they have to do. They can go internationally or find somebody, because I don't know. We just need a better big man. You think we need a better big man for Alabama, because we never really had a big man? What's your thoughts on that?
I liked Bediako. I think that the way that Nick Pringle played against Tennessee was honestly his best performance of the year.
He tried.
Is he like a dominating inside presence? No. But I think, he punched above his weight or did what, he was supposed to do the other night. So, but that's not part of, Nate Oates' overall philosophy, is to have like a dominating inside guy. You gotta, like, for example, Grant Nelson, 6'11", he plays like, on the outside or a point. He could play at all different positions.
Yeah.
But he's not that impactful in the middle. Let me switch gears real quick, Angel, as we make our final point here before I move to my next call. What do you, so I have, let's say 30 minutes of watching film today, or watching practice. I can watch one position, quarterbacks, or I can watch two positions, right? Quarterbacks, running backs, offensive linemen, DBs, tight ends. What two positions would you most be interested to see just footage of?
Let me ask me this. I believe defense, defensively, and I guess the running backs too, man. Because Justin Haynes, man, that guy's a monster. But for me, it's defense. I love defense. That's what set the standard for Alabama is the defense. And I'm a defensive guy, so I love defense. But I like to see more of the defense, particularly Damani Jackson, Keon Sabb, and all those guys. But that's all I got for today, Kyle.
All right, man.
I hope you have a great rest of your day. Roll Tide, man. Have a great day, man.
All right, man. Take it easy. All right, T, I got the poll question for today. 571, you're up next, and call line is open 205-850-1994. All right, T, so let's put it in the comment box. Which position group do you most want to see? Are you most excited to see from our footage today? Let's do quarterbacks. Let's do quarterbacks / running backs. Let's do, because there's only 4 options, right? Wide receivers. No, let's not do wide receivers. Let's do quarterbacks, running backs. Let's do offensive line. Let's do edge rushers / inside linebackers. And then our last option is secondary.
Okay.
Is there a 5th option?
No.
All right, I was going to put, I'm just pissed off.
Don't care.
I don't care. All right. We go back to the phone lines with the 571. Hey, what's going on? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, man, this is Glenn from Montreal.
Glenn, what's up, man? Good to hear you calling in. I appreciate you being on the show. Welcome to spring football practice. We got an open availability today. I'm excited to talk about it and just finally see, some guys with helmets running around and talk about the players that are here. So, anyways, Glenn, appreciate you joining us from Montreal. Been a minute, man. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, man. I want to see DBs and tackles.
Love it.
Yeah, I think those are our 2 greatest questions. I'd like to know who is in the front of the line. I'd also like to see how they rotate. If you get some idea how they rotate through drills. And the last is are the drills competitive? Are there winners and losers? Or are they just installing? Those are the things I'd be interested in. And about the last call, about the basketball team.
Yeah.
I think that Nate Oates is an outstanding basketball coach. His stuff that he's running, getting points to paint, points from the foul line, points from 3. That's modern basketball. I think that I agree with the last call. I'd like to see a little bit more defensive presence on the inside, but the guy had to replace a whole basketball team. The fact that we're 12-5 or 12-6 or whatever we are in the SEC is unbelievable. Unbelievable. He should be coach of the damn year with what he's done. I mean, the talking about that in terms of even having a shot at winning the SEC this year is incredible to me. I thought we'd be a mid-level team, to be perfectly honest with you.
I think that remember this basketball team was picked 5th by the media poll at the beginning of the season, right? So I guess you could question, is this team overachieving? I don't necessarily think so. I think that Nate Oates is qualified and proven enough that Alabama basketball is going to be a contender, regardless of the roster turnover, just because he's a damn good coach. What's also impressive to me about Nate Oates, and I always talk about this when I talk about basketball, is not only the roster changeover, but think about his coaches. He lost 3 or 4 of his key coaches, and he still has this team where they are. They're going to be look, Alabama basketball, yeah, they played like shit last night. It was terrible. I don't think they necessarily played bad against Tennessee, besides that 8-minute window where they didn't score a point. Basketball, that happens sometimes, whatever. But I promise you, there's not in the NCAA tournament, you think anybody, I don't know where Alabama basketball is going to be. Are they going to be a 4? Are they going to be a 5? Whatever it is. Do you think there's some team out there that's excited when they pull Alabama basketball, or when you see Alabama basketball on your side of the bracket? I don't think so. Because you're just man, this team can, they scored 100 points 9 times this season. You might, be able to be okay, we can, go toe-to-toe with it. I don't know, but you don't want to draw Alabama basketball. I don't know. I still feel that they haven't played their best basketball yet this season. So I don't know if I'm going to pick them to win my bracket when I fill it out, but I'm going to, pick them to go, moderately far. I think that's fine.
I mean, no Reitzel for the last 4 or 5 games. I mean,
there you go.
Huge piece.
Yeah. Yep.
Especially with our 3-point shooting. I mean, there's a huge difference when we swing it around the outside and get Reitzel in the corner compared to who we're in there with now.
Yeah.
Back to football, though. Back to football. I'm really curious to see what it's like if they're playing the music in there. What kind of music are they playing? Are they playing stuff with rhythm, or are they playing heavy metal? Where are we going with this?
You know what, T? Glenn, great point out. So guess what? So thank you for bringing this to my attention. So since they play music now, what Glenn is talking about, they're playing music at practice, okay? And if we upload the footage, it gets demonetized because there's music in the background. Yeah. So when we go, we have to make sure that the microphones are turned off. Okay. So let's put a reminder there. Thanks, Glenn. That was huge because that's a big deal for us. Yeah, Christian, what's up? I see you inside the comment box about what Coach Saban said. I don't know if you're referring to this particular quote, and I don't know if you've had a chance to read this, Glenn, as well. I would imagine that maybe you did, but if not, everyone's talking about Coach Saban's comments today in the Chris Lowe article. What stood out to me is how upset he was about how his team handled the locker room after they lost to Michigan. Glenn, have you read this article yet?
I have not read the article now.
Okay, all right. So,
but I will now.
Yeah, it's a deep article. It's long. It's like if you're having a sandwich or whatever, read it because it's a long article. But it kind of details the exit of Coach Saban, the hiring of Coach Kellen DeBoer. It's really well done by Chris Lowe, of course. But anyways, getting back to the practice, I don't know. I think it might be a mix. Who knows? I think that playing music at practice isn't anything new. I mean, this has been going on for quite some time, but it wasn't the case under Coach Saban. So I'm excited to see kind of the regentrification of how these players are practicing, kind of the tempo. And kind of see the intensity. I think that kind of gives you kind of a snapshot. Now, again, it's only one practice. It's only 20 minutes, whatever it is. But I think you can see a lot and kind of pick up, from what's going on at practice. And it seems like these guys are in, high spirits right now, kind of going in because they have a chip on their shoulder. Nobody feels that this Alabama team can be what it once was without Coach Saban. And here's our opportunity to prove it. Starts really at the beginning of the season, fourth quarter program, things like that. But now, as we get to practice, excited about it. I know you said you want to see DBs, offensive tackles. What else are you kind of looking for when we post footage or when we're talking about practice today, Glenn?
I was a basketball coach for 30 years. And so I always am interested in how they organize practice in terms of what drills are competitive, what happens to losers in drills. For instance, do losers have to push ups or they run it? The more competitive you make your drills, the more you get out of them. So, or are they just showing you basic install, here's the quarterback passing, here's some slow motion line drills. Or are they really going to show you some hitting and some popping? That's what I'm actually interested in. Yeah.
No, I can't wait to see it. Someone is standing out there playing trap music the whole time. So Coach KD let him bump. Good intel, Ebony. We appreciate you with the insight. So thank you so much for joining us. Any final point, Glenn, before we move to our next caller?
The music you listen to in practice is the rhythm with which you play, right? So, I know, especially in basketball, right? If you're pressing, you put on some heavy metal music. If you're showing half-court offense, you put on something with some rhythm, And so I'm really kind of fascinated as an old coach just to hear, obviously you can't play music, but I hope you talk about it in your feedback when you reassess practice what they were playing, man.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me, brother. Roll Tide, and hello to the Lady T.
All right, cool. All right, thanks, Glenn, calling in. T?
Yeah. Hey, Glenn. Good to hear from you again. Glad you called in.
Yeah. What are you excited about? I mean, look, you were able to go to practice a couple times last year, but it was all during close. We went to the Rose Bowl and we were able to watch them practice.
Yeah, and it
But
was
they had
really
us-
hectic and
plus they had us like
in a pin.
yes, they had us in a pin. Yeah, literally like a pin. But what are you excited to see today? And like, I mean, and read us the poll question, please.
Okay, so we ask you guys which position group you're most excited to see today from our practice footage, and 42%, excuse me, are now saying offensive line, and then in second place it is 24% QB and RBs, and then let's see, 19% secondary and 16% edge rushers and inside linebackers.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, and I can't wait to see, for me, I think we will put our resources at offensive line, secondary,
Yeah.
quarterback, of course. And it's going to be interesting just to see what drills that we can see them do. We don't know. This is all new. I don't know what angles we're going to be shooting from.
Yeah,
It's all new. It's completely new. Antoine, what's up, man? I love the hoodie that you're rocking, man. Got to watch the offensive tackles for me. We're going to watch those tackles for sure. Can't wait to see them. There's a lot going on. Gunny, before we take our next call, I want to quickly thank our sponsors. And T, if we can, I think we have that sponsor graphic that we'll put up. Perfect. Quickly thank our sponsor real quick, and I'll be right back in just a minute. So 1, 2, 3, and special thanks to our sponsors right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Special thanks to our sponsor, Residence in Ocean City, Maryland. Guests can book at residenceinOC.com. Use the promo code LPR for special Bama football pricing up to 20% off. Also, go to therogueshop.com. Use the promo code Bama. You get legal CBD. For me, personally, I like the topical oil. You know how intense my workouts are, right? So I like the topical oil. I like to rub that on my back, whatever, after those cinder blocks. So go to their website, cruise down, look through their website, and definitely check out rogueshop.com. And like I said, I like the topical. Again, the promo code is Bama. Also, think about becoming a fan funder right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Become a part of the Undefeated as low as $2.99 a month. That's 10 cents a day. How do you do this? Make sure you're logged into your account. This is on a computer. You can also do this on your phone and look for the tab that says membership. Once you click membership, you can see different options. You can see an upgrade button right there to the right if you want to go through the different levels. We have fan funder videos from the staff right here at Bama Football on YouTube. Very easy to navigate. Let us know if you have questions inside the comment box when trying to upgrade or renew your fan funder membership right here on Bama Football on YouTube. And of course, if you want to rock that undefeated gear, check out our merch store located at the bottom of the videos. We appreciate Patriot Life, Cynthia, Antoine, Caitlin, and to everybody else that supports us right here on Bama Football on YouTube. All right, fam. Yeah, thanks to our sponsors, Residence and then Demetrius Maynard. He owns the Maynard Group, and he is one of our sponsors as well. So thank you so much to all of our sponsors right here on Bama Football on YouTube. T, the CBD, the new one, Rogue Shop. What do you like from it? I like the topical oil. I don't do I don't smoke weed. I don't smoke, but I do like the topical stuff. Like this is my first time trying like any CBD, and I asked everyone inside the comment box. I was like, what do you guys think about CBD? And everybody, there's a lot of people that use it. Even people ask about CBD for pets.
Yeah, and I've used it on my dog before.
Really?
It's really great for like joint pain. It's good for all kinds of stuff. I like the topical stuff too. So they have like CBD treats for dogs on the site. They have topical stuff. They have all kinds of stuff. And then they also have tons of other products. So just go look, check it out. It's a family that makes everything themselves. They really high quality, everything's, really attention to detail. And then they can you can tell them what's going on with you, and they can tailor exactly what will be the best product for you. So it's a cool site.
Yeah, for sure. That's good detail on that. And look, Dee is saying that Demetrius is her pop.
Oh, cool.
Yes, that's cool. And then Marquita says that she ordered some yesterday. So that's what's up.
Oh, that's great.
That's
Okay.
cool. All right, we go back to the phone lines, and I'll be here for up until 10, and then we got Coach Smook rolling through. 256 calling in. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson, who I'm on line with, and where are you calling in from?
Kyle, what's up with you, man? This is Jay.
Hey, Jay, what's up, man? Appreciate you calling in, man.
Chilling, man. It's been a minute since I've talked to y'all, man, but I ain't stopped watching, and I ain't stopped telling people Cal's the GOAT.
Jay calling in from Florence, man. We appreciate you so much, man. Thanks for being here this morning, man. It's exciting because now we have some practice. It's been good. Like, I don't know, February, like we got through February fine, but I feel like it's good, you know, to be here in March. The weather's starting to turn. It's feeling good, man. So anyways, it's so good to hear from you. What are you most excited to see from spring football practice, or even today in the short, you know, practice window that we get with Alabama football?
Both lines of scrimmages, Kyle. I got to see what the big man gonna do this year, because both this offense and this defense really gonna be better if the lines of scrimmages go crazy this year. And it's just that simple. We got to go crazy.
I think so too. And I think, but how excited are you? Like, and sometimes I think we overlook the fact that like a guy like Tyler Booker is coming back, like, or that Jaden Roberts is coming back. Having those two guys feels as comfortable as Alabama having like Jeff Allen and David Ballou coming back. Like these are pillars within your offensive line. I want to see Parker Brailsford as well. How about this footage of Parker Brailsford snapping the football? No, I'm serious. Like, don't you think?
Yeah, no, that's like one of the things I'm most excited to see.
We need that just to show us that we ain't dealing with no Seth McLaughlin again.
Well, honestly, one of the questions that I would like to ask Coach Kalen DeBoer at some point in time, I don't know, today or, you know, whenever I get a chance to ask this magical question, is like, what type of consistency did you see from Parker Brailsford at the center position as his coach last year at Washington? Don't you think that's a valid question?
Yeah, I think that's a really fair question.
Right. Because, I mean,
that was you to go, Cal.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why you to go, because you come up with the great questions, man.
I mean, that's like, seriously, like that is if there was anything that, okay, you can point it out, your finger on a bunch of different aspects from why Alabama didn't do this or did last year, but last year, like the center position was a huge problem. So anyways, I don't know. What else? Hey, besides the offensive line, Jay, what else are you curious to see today at practice?
I want to see how they're going to line up the defensive line as far as, like, I understand the 4-2-5 concept, but are we going to go with, like, 3 bigger men and 1 smaller guy, or 2 big men in the middle and, like, 2 edges as far as, like, a Keanu Cole and a Jeremiah Alexander on the other side? Like, I want to see how they're going to be in their base package, if it's going to be more heavy or more slanted towards, like, the, you know, I know it's going to be DB slanted, but, like, the big guys up front. I want to see that line up, and I'm about like Coach was. I want to see how they how practice gonna be broke down, how they you know, the intensity and all of that. Like we need to see it, because now we know for sure everybody gonna be gunning for us, and man, we just need to know that our guys are ready for war.
Yeah, that's what I like too, kind of that intensity. And sometimes, you know, people are like shocked that there's like fights at practice or something like that. Those are good things early on. I'm not like saying for people to fight, but I'm talking like that warrior type mentality. Like, be excited to be out there, like compete. And like Coach Kalen DeBoer said, there's nothing wrong with competition. I love that. I love competition. Just as you know, like I honestly have to play sports in my life to still like have that competitive edge. I like it. I don't know why. I love to compete. Even today, I don't necessarily like, I just like to compete against myself in terms of, can I be better than I was like last year? Right? Like how was my footage last year, or how was my delivery? Am I better than myself? You know what, like when you're always, you know, I don't know. I love competition. So I can't wait to see it. We haven't really talked about the running backs yet. And cause I think we know what to expect, but there was one player that I'm curious to see. That's Richard Young, the redshirt freshman. How do you like, I mean, have you had a chance to think about the running back room going into this season, Jay?
Yes, sir. I done thought about it a lot, and the whole offensive scheme. I think like last year, the man was more like 60% pass, 40% run. I think now with him coming to Alabama and us being veteran in the middle of the offensive line, I think we finna run this ball and run the ball a lot. Because, I mean, Richard Young, Justice Haynes, J.R. Miller, man, you give people a dose of that all game, and it's going to be some asses whooped. I hate to say it like that, Cal, but some people going to have some hurt feelings. You let them big men get to move and groove and all game. Man, and then you got these hard runners, and they all a different style of runner, but they're not going down on the first tackle, none of them. So that's going to be – I'm excited to see it, man. But, Cal, you the GOAT. You the GOAT. You to put this thing together like saving, man. Like you really the GOAT, man. I love watching Coach Smook and JMH old, man. Like, man, Kyle, you got the greatest show, man. It ain't nothing else to say.
Yeah.
So, Rose, I hope you blow up the PCG all of the fight.
All right, man. I appreciate you, Jay, and thanks for calling in, man. All right, Jay calling in from Florence. Patriot Life, what's up, man? Appreciate you rolling through, man. Just put the belt to ass to get it done. Todd is going to be fine. Yeah, what's up, Patriot Life? Thank you so much for rocking, with us this morning right here on Bama Football on YouTube, and thank you very much for the super chat, man. We appreciate you so much. Matt Farms is saying, Kyle, just like how Mike had to punch the biggest guy in the face on the first day at the Austin Penn. Yeah, that's something he had to do. Basically, like a shot caller. Like as soon as you get bumped, like you're gonna get marked. So Mike from Austin, he had to go to it, and now he's shacking up with Big Squishy.
Yeah, I mean that's the path he chose.
Yeah, I mean
it would work for him.
But
Big
see,
Squishy.
the thing was, and we're not condoning this, but I mean his fandom, he was saying, horns down. That's what he told the judge.
I know.
In Austin.
Yeah.
Anyways, here rocking with you this morning on Bama Football on YouTube. She's Taylor. I'm Kyle Henderson, both of Bama Football on YouTube. Coach Smook rolling through at 10 a.m. and then we have some maintenance time, and then we'll get to the practice period here from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Yesterday, Coach Smook and I went up to Westgate Luxury Condos, which was awesome. It's just literally, it's right next to the stadium. We went up to their sky deck, and we recorded a video just basically talking about the same stuff, kind of previewing the upcoming practice, what we're looking forward to, and really excited just to get there and just to kind of get back into the rhythm of covering football. I mean, we have microphones, we have, all of our organizational things that we take over to the facility because we want to be able to provide quality content for you to be able to have right here on the YouTube channel. Like you cover Alabama football, you can go far and wide and look for other channels. Not even in the Alabama market. I think like all over and kind of do some, comparative analysis. And I think that we've really set the bar, and that is our approach, honestly. Like we know that you're here. We know that you're a fan funder inside the chat area, and we appreciate you. So that motivates us to continue to deliver high quality content right here to Bama Football on YouTube. And we really appreciate you guys for watching and for running the thumbs up this morning. Monica, appreciate the feedback. Thank you so much. Patriot Life is asking, hey Kyle, did you see the website with the quarter zips? Yeah, so Patriot Life sent in a link that has the quarter zips with the block A on them. We'll have to dig through the emails to get those added. So appreciate you, Patriot Life, always taking care of us. Jared, what's up, man? Kyle, do you think it'll be possible to film the coach players using the green dot system for a hot minute? That's a good question. Sometimes the green dot basically provides analytics on how the players are performing during practice. You can see the green dot kind of showcase through the players, like the back of their shoulder pads. Sometimes I would assume that they're in shells today. Shells means that they're helmet, shoulder pads, and shorts. I think you have to have a couple more practices before you get into actual full pads. So that's you'll obviously be able to see if they are in full pads today. Spiders are basically, like a jersey over, like a smaller set of pads that they wear underneath. But I would imagine that they're in shells today. So if we do get some green dot systems or like some footage of it, maybe just even a clip of it, I'll point that out to you, Jared. But good question, because there's a lot of analytics that you see on the back end, which is amazing. Alabama has like all these TVs. It's like an air traffic controller. And they can like see where the players are performing. That way they can go and say, hey, look, at practice, you were, this is how fast you were running. This is how much input you were giving in, come game day. They can kind of translate all that information. Oh, you mean the headset stuff? Oh, you're talking about helmet communications. So this is another thing too, is like helmet communications is going to be something that is new this year across college football. So imagine me, pretend I'm Nick Sheraton, Jalen Milroe. I write 37 slant, triple blah, 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 blah. And then it goes to Jalen Milroe, and Jalen Milroe is able to hear that inside his headset and then be able to communicate that to the other 10 players on his team within the huddle. So in the past, you'd have to signal that information in to Jalen Milroe. Now you're able to communicate with wireless communication. So going to see if we can see any of that. Joe Crooms, what's up, man? Thanks for being a fan funder right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Really interested to see Damani Jackson and what his mindset is. I really think USC didn't handle him well. I think this is a really great point. So a lot of people talk about Damani Jackson and say that the way that he played at USC wasn't close to the talent and kind of the ceiling that he has. I 100% agree. I think depending on the development, think about this. Damani Jackson and Keon Sabb being able to work with Maurice Lindquist and Colin Hitchler, who knows? These guys could be like a hell of a tandem. Throw in Devontae Smith, throw in Malachi Moore, throw in, a couple of these freshman defensive backs. This could be a sleeper unit for Alabama. I don't know. There's a lot of talent there. And I still feel that Alabama is going to add someone else. I don't know this for sure. I just kind of knowing the roster, I think Alabama still adds a vet from the secondary. T, can we get an update on those poll results before I take the next call?
All right, let's see. So it looks like our offensive line is still in first place with 39% of you saying that is the group you're most excited to see today. And then second is still QB RB with 25%. And then secondary with 22%. And last is edge rushers and inside linebackers at 16%.
Okay. All right.
So it's pretty much the same.
Yeah. All right. Well, feeling good about that. We'll be able to dedicate our resources to that and bring that in. So with that said, we go to a 251 and we'll take it right now. Hey, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, I'm David from Mobile.
What's up, David? Thanks for joining us, man. Good morning. I hope you're off to a really good Wednesday. Welcome to the show, man. Take it away.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the start of spring practice and eager to find out what Coach Womack is going to be able to do with the defense. The last time we won the national championship in 2020, we had the greatest offense we ever had. Nobody could stop them. And, of course, we had to outscore Ole Miss by scoring 50 points and had to outscore Florida in the SEC championship game by scoring 50 and had to outscore Ohio State. So that was the only time in my 71 years that I've seen Alabama win a national championship without a great defense. And we really hadn't had an up-to-standard defense since Jeremy Pruitt left. We were able to replace Smart with Pruitt, but we never have replaced Jeremy Pruitt up to this point. So I'm eager to find out if that's going to happen this year because, most of the time, all the 12 national championships that I've seen in my lifetime has been because of great defense. Now, 2020 was just the opposite. It was a great offense. So I'm one of those old Alabama fans that love defense.
You know what?
Back in the old days when...
I was going to ask you, and I said this yesterday on my show. Look, like Alabama fans specifically, this is how you make Alabama fans happy. You recruit well and you play good defense, great defense, and people are happy, right? Like, but you know what really pisses people off, Alabama fans, is if recruiting makes you happy. But if you play,
routinely give up 40 points in a game. That's what pisses me off.
Exactly. And to score even, let me ask you something. If you scored 56 points and you allowed, let's say 37, would you be happy after that game?
Well, that wouldn't be so bad. But, we beat Ole Miss in Florida that time 49 to 50. We beat them 52 to 49.
That's what I'm saying.
That's just whoever has the ball last is going to win. And we got lucky in both of those games. We had the ball last and we won.
And see, Alabama fans don't want to live like that.
No. I'd rather win. I would rather win 10-0 than I would.
Thank you. Yes.
50 to 40.
That's my point. Is like You know, you don't want to live like that. Even if you were, can you imagine if we go through this season and Alabama's winning games like 37, 34?
Like that, Kyle, if we go undefeated like that, sure, I'll be happy.
Sure.
But I would, if you had my rather's, like Gene Stallings used to say, if I had my rather's, I'd rather have a damn good defense, okay? All right, buddy, have a great day. Enjoy listening to your podcast.
All right, man, take it easy. All right, see ya. All right, good call. And just like I was saying, Alabama fans, I don't think you guys want to live like that. I don't think you want to live like, on the edge, winning these even like a 37-31 or, a 31-28. Like, play good defense. And I think Kane Womack, excited to see what he has to say today. I know they've given some interviews, before, whatever, which is cool. I honestly think that it's been pretty amazing to see these coaches behind the scenes, because I always talk about this, and call line is still open, waiting for Coach Smook to roll up. 205-850-1994. So many times we've just heard from Coach Saban, which was sufficient, right? It's fine. I mean, he's the GOAT, whatever. His message is perfect. But hearing the defensive coordinators or the defensive assistant coaches, the offensive coordinators, it gives you an idea of how talented they are, right? Having an ability to have access to them, I'm so excited about that. For example, look, even after games, when it's hard to ask a tough question, you have to, for example, you imagine how nice it would have been to ask Tommy Rees questions about, I don't know, the Texas game. You still sent Jalen Milroe out there to take bullets, right? You look like Matt Damon in Saving Private Ryan. Why'd you throw those 2 interceptions? What'd you see? Tommy Rees is in the back. He's like, damn, I'm glad I don't have to go out there and answer questions. Now, these coaches can come out. They're grown men. They're getting paid, in the millions. Answer some questions. I'm excited to see that. And I like to hear their philosophy. These guys are brilliant. Young guys, too. A lot of younger guys on the squad. I think the oldest coach, the DeBoer has on his staff, is it Kapilovic? Right? Who's I don't know, is he 56? Everybody else is pretty young, right? Kalen DeBoer's young. That's why, you know what, truth be told, I'm excited to have Coach Kalen DeBoer, because he speaks up. Like Coach Saban, sometimes when he come out, he'll be like, how's everybody doing? Yeah, just, when you look at the game tape, everything's going to be... And so, yeah, his message was still being delivered, but I would have to go... I was so paranoid about the audio levels that I'd have to raise the audio up. But Coach Kalen DeBoer, he's like, welcome up, So, Anton, what's up, man? Just ordered my 4th and 31 hoodie. Grave digger. Appreciate it, man. To see any of our gear, it's underneath these videos. We have different merch. We come up with different merch from time to time. We used to have Lank, but that's it, and it's not even trademarked by Alabama football. But I just felt ethically that should go to the students. So we don't sell any of the Lank stuff. That is all through the university. Didn't get any sort of cease and desist or anything like that. It's just those players deserve a right to, earn their money based off the merchandise and the ideas that they come with. So, and to buy all that is athletesthread.com. So you can go to athletesthread and you can order your official Lank hoodies or any of their gear. And that goes back to the athletes. You can get a few of those here at the Soup Store here in Tuscaloosa. But there's not a wide variety. The best way to go to get that gear, like hoodies or whatever, is to go online for that stuff. So, yeah, Kareem should be able to interview the coaches and ask questions. That's the way it puts. Yeah, exactly, 100%. That's why, look, now is the honeymoon period for the coaches. 100%, right? It's easy. Have you been to Wayside or restaurant? Have you, had an opportunity to cruise out on Lake Tuscaloosa? Those are easy. But what about when the bullets start flying, right? When you have, how is the quarterback competition looking like? Who's faring well at the quarterback position? What do you like about this particular player? Whatever. Athletes Thread. I'll put it in. T's not here, but it's athletesthread.com. Something like that. Ebony, and I think that's how you get an official Lank shirt. So next time, I don't know if you in Tuscaloosa or whatever, but next time you're here, you can go to the Soup Store and just get one. but I think it's athletesthread.com for like the official link stuff. So definitely please support the players. We go back to the phone lines with the 601. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, good morning, Kyle. How you doing? It's Jay from Pensacola.
What's up? What's up, Jay? Appreciate you being here, man. Welcome to the show. David, thanks for becoming a new fan funder right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Jay, what's up, man? Welcome on in, man, and let's get the party started, man. Take it away.
How you doing today, Kyle?
I'm doing great, man. Really excited about the opportunity and the privilege really to cover Alabama football. I think that sometimes you kind of have to zoom out and kind of understand like the gravity and the responsibility that not only comes with running a YouTube of this size, but being able to have access and the small access that even I have. Like, look, I mean, there's opportunities that come in this particular space, and being able to be on site, to be able to record the players, to be able to bring that footage to you, talk about the footage, have people call in and talk about Alabama football. It's pretty dope, to be honest. I mean, I love it. And it's something that you don't lose sight of. I think sometimes like in life, you have to make sure that like, if you live by the beach, go to the beach. If you're here by Alabama football, enjoy Alabama football. Nothing lasts forever. Time is always fleeting. Time goes fast. So be able to enjoy like the present. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to have some fun with it and bring you the coverage that you deserve right here on Bama Football on YouTube. But what about you, man? What are you looking forward to seeing from spring football?
To be honest, I'm looking forward to see the quarterbacks and the running backs. Well, I know what the running backs are doing. I'm looking more for the quarterbacks. The only thing that I want to see from the offensive line is the tackles. I feel like the guards in the center position, I know we have those on lock. I'm pretty confident about those, but I'm just curious about the tackles. I feel like those are an important piece of the offensive line, and I want to see what do we have with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think, the tackle is clearly a position of importance right now. And I'm curious to see if Alabama will add another tackle from the transfer portal when the portal does open up. But, we saw just some, I don't know, we saw a far out snapshot that was taken, I think, by Courtney Morgan on Instagram. I'm trying to find it. This is a wide shot from Monday's practice. This means absolutely nothing. This is just a photo. But it shows NyQuil Bentrade at the left tackle position, and it shows Wilcom Formby at the right. Now, those could be the second team tackles. Clearly, you have Ty Simpson right here at the quarterback position. You have Justice Haynes in the back. You have Kane Womack to the left of your screen. You have Jamarcus Shepard there with a headset, and in the back you have Nick Sheridan talking to Jalen Milroe. I really like this clip right here, but I don't, does it mean anything? Is it 2s on 2s? Is it? I have no idea. It's a shot from practice. So I'm excited to see who pops up at the tackle position as well. What else you got, Jay?
That's all I got, Kyle. I just want to say, I know you guys don't consider you guys as celebrity status, but I know we as fans, we look at you as celebrity. And of course, if I come, I want to get a picture with you if I ever see you in public.
That's what's up.
So there'll be.
Yeah, man. Well, we appreciate you, Jay. So thank you so much for calling in, man. Be safe on the road, and call again next time for sure, man.
I appreciate you, man. Have a good day. Roll Tide.
All right, Roll Tide team, man. All right, Jay, with the good call as always. Appreciate you being here, and appreciate you guys supporting us and supporting our sponsors as well. Whether that's the Residence Inn in Ocean City, Maryland, guests can book there at 20 LPR is the promo code, 20% off. Again, if you're in the area, if you're cruising through, definitely check them out. Definitely Rogue Shop as well, legal CBD and more. The promo code is definitely BAMA, so make sure and hit that promo code. And then Demetrius Maynard is just a local sponsor. He owns the Maynard Group, just wants to be a sponsor here on Bama Football on YouTube. And if you are curious to be a fan funder, let us know. We'll put our info in the description box. But most importantly, if you could become a fan funder, hit the hyperlink up top, only $2.99. And I hear the music coming on because we got Coach Smook rolling through. Coach Smook, give me a thumbs up if you're ready to join, and I'll bring you on right here on Bam. All right, we got Coach Smook coming in. This will be Coach Smook's first time to get a chance to see the team in action. Got a lot of energy coming through, and we got Coach Smook in 3, 2, 1. Coach Smook, what's up, man?
What's up, brother? How you feeling?
Coming with it, man. Appreciate you being here. Looking forward to your segment, man. And yeah, man, I'm sure I'm not even going to ask you excited about being here because I think you really understand like the opportunity and the privilege to be able to be here covering the football team and get a taste of Alabama's practice today.
Yeah, man, because this is the new era. Like I'm here for the first phases of the new era, man. That's like an opportunity. I guarantee you, if you was to take that and throw it out there, and it'll be millions of people, fighting for it. Just the opportunity to be there. So I'm definitely appreciative and blessed, man, and to be in this position. But I'm excited about it, man. I'm ready to see this. I'm ready to see this new energy behind these quarterbacks, man. I'm ready to see it. I'm ready to see the wide receivers. We were talking about offensive linemen yesterday, the tackles. Yeah. I heard you just talking about those guys today. And I can't wait. Can't wait. I like to see all the cryptic messages being thrown out about depth chart and where guys fall. I like these speculation phases of this part of football. So I'm excited, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. We'll have a good segment. I have some B-roll just rotating at the bottom. You can just rewind that to just kind of have it as you're talking about your segment, and we'll get it going, man. But have a good show, and we will catch you, Smook. At practice a little before 2 p.m. So I'm gonna send you a Slack here in a little while with kind of like more details, man. But do your thing on the show right now, and catch you soon, fam. See you guys. Thanks for supporting Smook. Support him like you guys support me right here on Bama Football on. Fam, it looks like we might be having a little bit of technical difficulties with Coach Smook. If we are, we'll see if we can bring him back. Smook, you good on the internet front?
Am I back now?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, that they over here. I think it's literally around this time every day. And I already talked to the housekeeper lady. Told her I'm good. She ain't got to knock on the door, so we good.
All right, cool. All right, so here you go. Here's Coach Smook.
Yo, what's good, man? What's good, everybody? Roll Tide. How y'all feeling today? Sorry about that, man. We trying to get situated. We're gonna get straight, y'all. This is my last day in the hotel. Oh man, I'm glad. Gonna have some space. Thank you, Jesus, y'all. Thank y'all for y'all prayers and y'all support. Somebody said, "What a visor at?" Man, let me tell you, I had to can't wear the visor every day, man. You know what I'm saying? When I wash my face, like do my facial cleansing routine, because I had to do it late today. I don't really like to put too much on my, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. What's up, Brett? With the 199 B? My cousin B Sharp in the building. What's good, fam? Smooth. What's up? Appreciate the $2 super chat and 199 super chat, man. What's up, everybody? What's up, Cynthia? How you feeling this morning? Marquita, let's go. Javion, what's good, Javion? This my Javion's me and Sean's and Kyle's Twitter eyes. You know what I'm saying? He be finding everything, anything that he think needs confirmation, like validity. He tagged Bama YouTube, Coach Smook, and JMHO Sports every time. Ain't it right, Javion? He be trying to have a G chat for us. I be like, man, let the folks post their stuff, man. I ain't gonna bother. You know what I'm saying? Bama Bob, what's good, fam? Yeah. T. Holden from Maryland. Hey, Roll Tide. Shouts out to you. Yeah, man. We're going to be like a kid in the candy store today. Dwight, you better know it. You better know it. Tink, what's good, family? What's good, sweet home Bama? How you feeling? Joe Crooms from Phoenix City. Okay. I'm from Phoenix City. Hometown, baby. Home team, baby. I'm from the South Side. We moved out of Asbury to Fort Mitchell. Up, down 165. You know what I'm saying? What you know about that? Nicole, how you feeling today? How you feeling today? Sarita Vlogs. Yeah, Tim Nolan. What's good, y'all? Corey Wilkes. How you feeling? Yeah, DR334. The visor's like my cake. Nah, man. You know what's crazy? So shouts out to a lot of the supporters in here, man. It's crazy because we got people. I got a visor being made. Sent the design off last week, and I guess that's become like a staple. You know, That was like my thing though when I was gaming as Coach Smook, as a gaming content creator. I wore a visor on a majority of my streams, some type of headgear, symbolizing coaching. Who from Fort Mitchell? DR334. What you know about Fort Mitchell, man? What you know about Fort Mitchell? What's good, Dino? Christian, how you feeling? What up, Bama fanatic? What's good, Quasia? Yeah, man. How y'all feeling? Cleaned the face up yesterday. I see myself. Why you ain't telling me I be looking raggedy on that doggone video? Y'all was talking about everything else, but y'all ain't tell me I look raggedy on that video. So talk with my wife. I talked with my wife. I said I'm tired of the facial hair. I'm gonna keep it minimal. I used to keep a clean face anyways, being in the military. So I'm gonna keep it minimal, man. I ain't a beard guy. You know what I'm saying? I got a struggle beard anyways, right? Some fellas out there know what I'm talking about. Struggle beard gang, struggle facial hair gang. Hey, stand up. SFHG, stand up, man. I'm out there. I support y'all, man. It's gonna come. It's just not gonna be till we 40. You know what I'm saying? If you 40 and you can't grow a beard, it's not gonna happen. All right. So I still got a little bit of time. I got about 6 more years. If I try it again, I try it again. But struggle facial hair gang, I sympathize with you. I empathize with you. I share your struggle, okay? And we can make it. We can make it. All right. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. Columbus was your stomping grounds. What you talking about? What you talking about? Love seeing players on the field again. Me too, Bama Bob. Me too, fam. Jerry, you think so? Appreciate that, brother. Look. Nah. You see all this right here. Don't play with me. Oh, man. Kareem, you still have those undeveloped baby hairs on your face. Listen, ain't no undeveloped baby hairs, man. I got a real thin texture of hair. Like, it's real nice. Like Hispanic hair. You know how them Hispanics had it? Throw the water on your hair, lay it down, get a fire edge up. That's how my facial hair is. So, yeah, I don't get that thick stuff. And it's my grandma's fault, man. We got all types of genetic bloodlines makeup in my family. I got a cousin, man. Y'all think I'm light skinned? I got a cousin that's literally like same energy, same vibe, same style, right? But he's white. Like, he's really white. He has dark eyebrows, you know what I'm saying? But he's white. His skin is white. He won't get darker than my lightest tone. So yeah. Got cousins with like the blue eyes, blue gray eyes, all that crazy stuff. Yeah, my nieces, my brother's daughters, they got some funny eyes, man. All of them. All his, as a matter of fact, all his kids do. And his eyes just dark as mine, you know. He brown, they light skin, you know. So my family all types, they got different textures of hair. My brother bald now because he got good hair, but all that hairline, that thing left him at an early age, man. Good hair. Yeah, man. I like looking 20. I like looking 20. My wife, man, she sent me a picture the other day. She was looking all extra young and sexy and stuff. So I had to, trying to keep up, man. Trying to keep up. But enough about me, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Man, I'm telling you, I can't wait for today's practice because all it means is that we're another day, another step closer to A-Day, to seeing these guys get on the field and do what they do, man. I can't wait. It's going to be one of those things where I think I'm kind of settled now being in this moment, but it's like I still have that intense anticipation to provide the best quality content possible. So, man, this goes into my first segment. Shout out to the 238 in the chat. And before we get into our first segment, I want to run this commercial, man. Y'all know I got to do it when I get on here. I love running this commercial. It lets y'all know who's really supporting the channel. Shout out to the sponsors, Residence Inn in Ocean City, Maryland, rogueshop.com, and my big brother, the local sponsors, Demetrius Maynard. I don't even want to call them local sponsors. You only call them local because they live in the area, but they are definitely internationally known. With Demetrius and his family and the Maynard group, man, they do some awesome things. But check out this commercial, and I'll be right back with you.
Special thanks to our sponsor, Residence in Ocean City, Maryland. Guests can book at residenceinOC.com. Use the promo code LPR for special Bama football pricing, up to 20% off. Also, go to therogueshop.com, use the promo code BAMA. You get legal CBD. For me, personally, I like the topical oil. You know how intense my workouts are, right? So I like the topical oil. I like to rub that on my back, whatever, after those cinder blocks. So go to their website, cruise down, look through their website, and definitely check out rogueshop.com. And like I said, I like the topical. Again, the promo code is BAMA. Also, think about becoming a fan funder right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Become a part of the Undefeated as low as $2.99 a month. That's 10 cents a day. How do you do this? Make sure you're logged into your account. This is on a computer. You can also do this on your phone and look for the tab that says membership. Once you click membership, you can see different options. You can see an upgrade button right there to the right if you want to go through the different levels. We have fan funder videos from the staff right here at Bama Football on YouTube. Very easy to navigate. Let us know if you have questions inside the comment box when trying to upgrade or renew your fan funder membership right here on Bama Football on YouTube. And of course, if you want to rock that undefeated gear, check out our merch store located at the bottom of the videos. We appreciate Patriot Life, Cynthia, Antoine, Caitlin, and to everybody else that supports us right here on Bama Football on YouTube.
Thank you all for supporting us, y'all. I can't thank y'all enough, man. I love that commercial. I know every time I see it, I'm gonna get hype about it. But yeah, man, appreciate y'all for hanging out with your boy today. Let's get into it, man. The excitement on campus. You know, Kyle, he was just asking me how excited I am. I'm very excited, but I'm more so ready to work now. You know, now that I got a good feel of how to move around. Still going to continue to learn. Still going to continue to grow. Man, listen, I'm telling y'all, I can't wait to get this thing popped off, y'all. I'm telling you, today is going to be an insightful day. I'm thinking about, you know, even the guy that's on my graphic now, Justice Haynes. I can't wait to see him put in work in those warm-up periods. They say they go into 11 on 11, 11 on 11 segment real early. So maybe we probably won't get to film it much, but I'll be able to see it, you know, and be able to give you some evaluation. So I think what I'm going to do today, I'll be out there with a notepad, man, just kind of writing stuff down. I won't be getting pictures or anything, but I'll definitely be writing stuff down, and I'll be tweaking things for you guys, let you all know things that I'm evaluating, and then I'll be able to come and give a live reaction to it too. Once post-practice, we do the post-practice interviews. So it's going to be fun. Messing with your Smook, get your likes up, man. Undefeated. What happened, Kareem? What you talking about? What you was messing with me about? When? Oh, you talking about my facial hair? Man, you know, man, Kareem. Now, you know, I get down with the best of them, man. Appreciate that $5 super chat, though, man. You excited to hear my take? Man, look, I'm telling you, it's going to be, I'm going to be as unbiased as I can. But I know that these guys have been working hard. Even just hearing some of the conversations around the campus in the recent weeks since I've been here, it's just a good vibe to be on the campus. Like the excitement for this football team and this new coaching staff, man, is really prevalent. And I can't wait to get there today, set up, get everything set up. I got my mics charging, my cell phone. You know, I got to keep that charged up because I'm gonna be using that a lot. Got to keep the computer charged up. Like, I'm ready to make sure everything is as perfect as possible so that we can continue to provide that good content. My boy said it took him 27 years to get a beard. Ooh, Lord. Look, I'm working. Look, I'm going on 34, man. You know what though? I will say this, and if my god brother is watching this show, he know what story I'm about to tell before we get into this segment. So, 2017, right? I mean, this is like 2 years post getting out the military. I just came back from Kuwait. I had just got done getting like these treatments for my face because in the military I had bad razor bumps, you know. And you know, that was before I found out about shaving profile and all that. Well, was able to get one and I found out about it. But I had real bad shape, like razor bumps for the longest, for about 4 years of my career. And then finally transitioned out the military, got overseas, went to this spa. And they did like this deep cleanse and all this stuff, put my feet in some water or this mud looking stuff. And it like sucked all the toxins out of my body. So my skin was like extra clear. Man, I went and started doing like a beard growth treatment like 2 months, 3 months after being back from Kuwait. My junk looking like real fluffy. It wasn't long. It was just getting thick and fluffy, right? Nice. It wasn't like way up here, like y'all get them full beards. My junk was like right mid cheek, jawbone, right? Go to my god brother, right? And it's my fault, but it's his fault too. We toe up drunk the night before the Iron Bowl in 2016, right? And we wake up the next morning. We supposed to be hit the road like 4:30 in the morning to get up here to try to get parking. But we didn't wake up until like 4:15. And so he's a barber and my brother can cut. And I go sit in the chair. We still kind of hung over. I go sit in the chair. And I remember bro just lining me up. And I forgot what we was talking about. But he asked me, "You trimming this down?" And I'm thinking, in my mind, I'm not thinking about my beard, man. I'm thinking about, because I had a box and I was wearing like the curly. I said, yeah, just a little bit, trim it down a little bit. Man, he goes from cleaning me up right here. And he just, I was like, bro, he was like, what? And he had a guard on and it didn't really like clean it. It just cut like more than what and I was like, bro, he was like, what? I was like, man, I was not. I said, why you cut my beard? He said, I just asked you if you want me to. I said, man, you know what? It's just hair. And look, that day, if you go look at the videos, I'm gonna post them today. If you go look at the videos from the Iron Bowl that day, I think I had a clean face. I either had a real low shadow or I had a clean face, and I had and look at the pictures before, it was just starting to get thick. So yeah, I believe that's why I've kind of like not put my effort into it, because the one time I had it, he lost it. You know what I'm saying? He lost it. So yeah, it was funny, man. Who was gifted a membership? Crimson Dad, you was gifted. Hey, congrats, man. Shouts out to you, bro. I'm glad. Hey, listen, some people get them and don't even care. They don't even acknowledge the fact that they got one. So the fact that you excited about it, man, I definitely want to give you your applause, man. We appreciate you for wanting to be a supporter of the channel, man. Definitely appreciate it, brother. Definitely appreciate it. And definitely cherish it. You get a whole month of acting up with the undefeated. Can't wait. Glad to have you on a part of the team. And hopefully you're inclined to continue to support and get your own fan funder after this one is up, renew it. So thanks, man, for supporting. Now, let's get into it. We talked about the excitement on campus, right? Y'all see the excitement on this panel with this team, right? What's the direction of this team? And I could only go based off of what Coach Caleb DeBoer said in his presser the other day. When asked about certain players, one common denominator was amongst things. One common thing was said for all the players, and that was the fact that these guys were willing to work. So if they're willing, the direction is, Caleb DeBoer is big on efficiency and domination, right? Efficiency and domination. So if they're willing to learn, if they're willing to be taught and molded, right? That means the direction of this team is going towards being consistently efficient and dominant. And we have the skill players to do it. We have the talent to do it, but they have to be willing. Coach Caleb DeBoer does have a winning direction. Every program he stopped at, every team he's been a head coach of, which has only been at this level, NAIA, collegiate level, NAIA, that's one, Fresno State, Washington. So this will be his fourth team, his fourth stop as a head coach, right? You have to think that the winning mindset travels with you when you do it that much. And so a young coach with 100+ wins under his belt already, that's a good sign, man. That's a good sign. And I think the direction of this team is really, forward motion, forward progression. Yeah, man. What's that? John Jay. More than you need to know about. What are you talking about, John? What's up? I don't know what that means. Roll Tide, Tony Jones. Appreciate you pulling up. If you're a first-time viewer, man, make sure you run the likes up in here as you come in and get everybody in here, get more people in here and talking Alabama football. And once again, undefeated, I appreciate y'all. So that's just a quick take on what's the direction. Anybody else in the chat? I'm gonna start asking you all. What direction do you see this team going in as far as we gotta hold up. Kyle did the poll. Let me go check the poll for y'all real quick. It's a poll in the chat. Dang, that's cool. We got 208 votes. Hey, 3 more minutes. We're gonna shut the poll down because that'll give us an opportunity to pass on some information. Pass on some information for the clips today. Oh yeah, I see a lot of people liking the offensive line right now. Right? Yeah, I like that. Offensive line. Y'all want to see a lot of offensive line clips? That means we got a quality chat in here. A lot of people don't get an offensive line they love. They don't get the big boys up front they love. So that's cool. And that's the most, to me, that's the most important part of the offense to me. That's the most important part of the offense to me. Being able to set the momentum, to create momentum in the trenches and set the tone. So you got guys like Jaden Roberts, Tyler Booker coming back. You got a lot of experience. You got Parker Brailsford, right? And then you got the tackles. You got some experience out there. You saw myself and Kyle allude to it yesterday in our post-practice day 1 review and day 2 preview. I'm excited about Wilkin Formby, Miles McVay. You seen in the graphic earlier in the B-roll that those guys were on the same lineup. It's going to be interesting to see how things start to shape up after the first scrimmage when they get back from spring training. I mean, from spring break. I can't wait to see how that shapes up. Man, it's going to be a good one. I think there's going to be a lot of competition. And y'all got to remember, like during spring practice, they're not practicing every day. So in between these days, they're not practicing. They're still doing team workouts. They're still coming together, doing their treatment. They're doing like film study. They're teaching phases of each side of the ball, phases of the scheme, which leads me into this next question, this next topic, right? What's easier to learn? All right, what's easier to learn? I want to ask the chat in your opinion, and we're going to end this poll. Yep, we got 215 votes. I'm going to end it, and then screenshot alert, y'all. Screenshot alert. Put this up here. And I'm going to put this. Uh-oh. Let me get this first. Why won't let me just post it here? All right. Oh, well. It ain't gonna let me post it. Here you go. I wonder if it'll be a problem if I boost this out. Probably. All right, let's do this. Check this out. So here go y'all results from the votes from the poll. So the undefeated wants to see the offensive line and the running backs today. So to be fair, I think that today we will do offensive line and we will do secondary, because it wouldn't be much fun to do both, have clips of just one side of the ball, right? So let's do offensive line and secondary. Hey, undefeated, if y'all agree with that, can I get a fire emoji in the chat? Can I get a fire emoji in the chat? Can we get Jaden Roberts on the basketball team? Hey, Tim, we need somebody. Him, Austin Mack, some bigger bodies with some weight on. Shoot, Caleb Odom, 6'6", 6'5". Get that young man on the court. He could be a power forward, a small big. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. Who else, man? Keon Keeley's what? 6'6", 6'5". We got any 6'7" guys? All right, bet. I see y'all. I appreciate y'all. So we're gonna have DBs and O-line today. The secondary and O-line, the two places of concern, right, Kareem? Not necessarily concern for me. I think it's more so curiosity. I'm very curious to see how this thing works out with the O-line and the secondary. EJ, yeah, I feel y'all. O-line DBs, yeah, Antoine, you was one of the ones that said it. Everybody sadly wants to be oh my God, yeah, it's sad, man. Formby 6'7", yeah, get that boy out there. Poe 6'7" too, right? Ionota, Joseph Ionata, Ionota. Ain't he kind of tall too? Shout out to Coach Smook on my lunch break, homemade pop. Oh, hey, listen, I found my little spot now, Patriot Life. I don't know if y'all watched my my vlog yesterday on my channel, but yeah, I found my restaurant down here. Nona Davis. Okay, so bet we're gonna be getting y'all that footage today. We're gonna try to get some good clips. Not gonna try to. We are gonna get some good clips today. We're gonna get some good clips today. Y'all know I got my my flip phone ready. Y'all remember last night we was talking about my flip phone? I'm gonna get y'all some good. Yeah, yo, so I'm gonna go find me a flip phone today. Y'all gonna be laughing. I'm gonna find me a flip phone today. Imagine that box, bro. Like my dad, well, when my dad was coaching me at a young age, he used to be talking about put that onion on them. Yeah, that's exactly what we'll be wanting from them boys. Get that onion on them, boys. Yes, sir. Hey, let me fix this right here real quick. All right, let's get it. All right, y'all. So what's easier to learn? I'm gonna put this poll in the chat. Put this poll in the chat. Y'all run it up for me. And while I talk about it, here you go. Check this out. Poll is up. Poll is up. Check it out, y'all. Let me know what y'all think. What's easier to learn? Offense or defense? Run it up. Let me know. Let me know what's easier to learn, offense or defense. So I'm gonna give my I'm gonna give like a synopsis of what I feel. Now, depending on your personnel, right? That's the first thing for me. Personnel wise, you gotta know what you're working with. So that's the first thing. If you don't know what you're working with, if you're Bill O'Brien or you're a who was the defensive coordinator at LSU a few years ago? They got rid of bro after was it Zach Arnett? If you're a person, a coach or a leader that's set in their ways, right? No matter what side of the ball you're on, coach, coordinator, whatever. If you're setting your ways at the play calling standpoint, then you're probably going to struggle more often than none when you're at the college level, right? One, because of the turnover rate of players leaving in and out the program, you never can really future forward plan with this new day, and especially now with NIL and transfer portal, right? But so that the turnover of players, but also the turnover of assistant coaches, right? Of position coaches. You got analysts that go and find jobs every year. You got off-field, on-field guys. You got position coaches that find on the that change out on the years. Somebody said depends on the position. Let's generalize it. Offense or defense, generalize it. In your opinion, what's more difficult to learn? What's easier? No, not more difficult. What's easier to learn? Offense or defense? Generalize it. So that's a big thing for me. Personnel. Number two, schematically, mindset. Schematically, does your system does it have flexibility? Does what you're trying to teach have flexibility? Is there only one phase to it, or is there multiple phases to it? Is there multiple levels to it, to where you have to dissect things in a fast amount of time, or is this a simple, effective style of scheme? And a lot of times people allude to the offensive side, but I like to look at the defensive side. I like to look at the defensive side and say, the way that Coach Saban ran his version of the 4-2-5 or the nickel, base nickel, it was different than most. He and Kirby Smart kind of are like the staples of that style, gap containment, put in linebackers in space, and you see how they've adjusted with the type of linebackers they recruit, especially on the inside linebacker position. Y'all see Coach Saban started recruiting a lot of, smaller guys, kind of like what Coach DeBoer and Kane Womack are doing now, getting a lot of these, smaller guys that can build up to that 225, 235 frame, right? And you have the speed and the range. Most of these guys are athletes before they solidify themselves as linebackers, right? So that's what this game is transitioning to. So that plays into it. Let me look at the poll. Let me see how many votes we got. I'm eager to see some of your votes. So we got 2 more minutes. We're going to leave the poll open. We got 46 votes right now. How many people we got live right now? 230 people. We only got 46 votes. Hey, if you can't see the poll, you probably have to go to the mobile app. But if you're on a computer, you should be able to scroll up. Well, not scroll up. Put your mouse over the here we go. Screenshot alert. If you're on your computer, it's going to look something like this, right? It's going to look like something like this, all right? In the comment box. You should be able to see it. It should look something like that. All right? So if you're trying to figure out what a poll is, because really when you answer in the chat, I don't really get to, see your vote. You know what I'm saying? I don't get to see it. The poll is what helps me kind of measure everything. Keeps it good too. So right now we're sitting at, how many votes we sitting at? Sitting at 56. Let's go. Run it up. We got one more minute. 58. Yeah, come on. I like the results right now too. I think people are kind of understanding. I like that. Let me get some of the comments. Professor Certified Hater. I can agree with that. To a certain extent, I can agree with that. It took me the longest to dig in and understand O-line blocking. Okay, Antoine. Yeah, defense is tougher, harder, in your opinion. Brian, I can respect that. Bo Pelini. Offense does and defense has to read then do. Okay. Defense, no joke. Watch out, Brian. I feel you. Jonathan McMillan, just check. He's on the roster. Only played a few snaps last season. Who? Jonathan McMillan. Wasn't there a 6'8" kid from Tuscaloosa that Bama was recruiting? You talking about Edric Hill? I think that was Edric Hill. It was somebody. You voted? Bet that, Sharita. Shane, offense is overall easier except for O-line. Let me see. Is it time to close the poll? And then I'm going to give my final take. Screenshot alert. Put the poll results up. Screenshot alert. If you're a fan funder, run the screenshot alert emoji up. And we're going to reveal it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So 62% of you all with 69 votes think that the defense is harder. 37% thinks the offense. I don't know about y'all, but that number seemed kind of off, don't it? That means it was like 36.8 and 61.9%. So yeah, solid voting, solid siding of defense probably being harder. I think, and y'all can correct me, I think you guys think the defense is going to be harder to learn because of the young guys in the secondary and, a lot of depth, a lot of new faces in the secondary, right? But traditionally, and anybody that's ever coached during spring, right? Traditionally, your defense usually wins the scrimmages, right? Your defense usually grasps the scrimmages because in spring it's repetition, right? For both sides of the ball. Early on, you see offensive guys being able to make plays just based off of, unfamiliarity with guys on the other side, not knowing routes, not being familiar with running styles early in the spring, right? People that went off and put in work. So my opinion, I'm going to say offense is harder. One, because with offense, you're forcing a reaction and you're anticipating, right? With defense, you're reacting. So I can call cover 2, right? I can call base cover 2 for my defensive call, right? Let's go Eagle base cover 2. That means I got a linebacker spot, and we got everybody regular concepts for cover 2. Corners in the flats, covering the flats. Got your linebackers in the deep hash, right? Covering the hash. Then you got the hook, the curl. And then you got your safeties on the hash, covering deep half, right? So basic cover 2. In basic cover 2, I don't care where you run it at. You're setting your defense up to react, right? You set your defense up to react. If you learn base zone coverages, you're not stuck to a man. You're backpedaling to a zone or area, and anything coming in your area, you're kind of jumping on it. So to me, that's easier to do than to say, hey, snap the ball. If you have this front, you got to block this way. If you have this front, you got to block this way, right? If the safety aligns, if you got two safeties on the hash, this is your read. But if the corner sits right here, you got to go to this read. Like, that's why I think offense, because there's so many things that goes into just the first few phases of running a play, right? Whether that's run, blocking, or run or pass scheme. Defense, you just have to align right, and then a lot of times defense, you can just line up and react. You can make sure your alignment is right and react. As a matter of fact, some of your best defensive coordinators, when their teams are not able to execute the extensive defensive play calls or execute those, they usually just simplify. Hey, you got your man, you got over top, you guys got underneath, you guys get to the quarterback. These are your lanes, push. Yeah. So that's my personal opinion. Let me get back to the chat. I like that. What's good, Alan from Utah? What's up, man? Appreciate you for pulling up, family. Appreciate you for pulling up. We appreciate you for being a fan funder, man, supporting the channel. What's good, Bino? I see you down there. That had nothing to do with the question that was asked, Smook. What you talking about? What's easy to learn? I know. That's what I'm saying. So I think, oh, my fault. I answered it backward. So I think the defense is easier to learn, right? I think the offense is harder to learn. You guys are right. You guys are right. So I went backwards. I meant to ask it the way I'm answering it. So I was answering it in my question, then I was asking it in my answer, right? Appreciate y'all for getting me on point. Appreciate y'all. Look, I ain't above it, man. I ain't above it. You know, you sit here, you have these conversations with yourself before you get on stream, and I kind of debate with myself. So I get on both sides. I get lost getting excitement sometimes, but appreciate y'all for keeping me on point, man. Yeah. Nah, because y'all are right. Y'all agreeing with me. Y'all feel like the defense is easier to learn. I think the offense is harder. So we agreeing. What we doing? We disagreeing to agree, right? But we're not even disagreeing. We saying the same thing. I'm speaking Spanish. Y'all speaking English, right? You know what I'm saying? What's up, Adam? How you feeling? What's up, Shane? Yeah. Nah, Brian, don't be confused. You're right. If you voted for the defense, then we agree. You know what I'm saying? If you vote that defense is easier to learn, I agree with you, right? I agree with you. I stand corrected. I agree with you. I feel like offense is going to be, as simple as the offense is, I feel like it's still going to be a learning curve for everybody. Defense, regardless if it's a 4-2-5, 3-3-5, 3-4, 4-3, you know, whatever. Your basic coverages and things, like you can run 3 different coverages or 3 different sets and really be whatever. You know, more so defense is about personnel to me. Like I can go out there and line up in a 4-3, but if they got 4 wide out there, right, and I'm playing against, that's not favorable for my position. But I can't guard the 4-3. I mean, I can't guard 4 wide, a 10 personnel look out of the 4-3. You can man up your 4 DBs on all the wide receivers, assign a linebacker to the running back, have a spy on the quarterback, and hope your guys up front win, right? That's what we call zero coverage, right? You can go one high. You can go one high, rock a linebacker out to a slot, bring a strong safety down to the other slot, let your corners lock up on the side, right? Match zone underneath. You can have a spy in the middle with your linebackers, right? Still got 4 guys pressuring the quarterback. Or you could go to a base zone coverage, cover 3, where you got your corners bailing out to their covering their third of the field, you know, deep. And you got one safety covering the middle of the field deep. Then you got the other strong safety playing underneath in the hooks, right? The hook and the curls, the deep outs, the digs, everything coming across the middle at the second level. Got linebackers playing underneath coverage. One going to shoot to the flats to cover where the linebackers or the corners dipping off deep third. Like you could do that in any base formation of any defense. It's about personnel. So it's just, to me, defense is easier. Offense is definitely going to have its learning curve. So we agree, chat. We agree 100%. 62% of y'all agree with me. I agree with 62% of y'all. So moving on to the next one, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for interacting with the poll. Reality, not reach. All right, this is the reality of it. So the reality of this whole thing with spring ball is, you're only going to get so many reps, right? You're not going to get game speed, even in scrimmages. You're never going to get game speed. So the reality of it is, who can retain the every step? Who can retain it and project it the most efficiently, right? The most consistent, right? And sometimes that doesn't translate into performance. So what I'm saying is, you might have a locker room film study guy, right? That can, let's say in the quarterback room, let's say Todd Simpson is the guy that you could turn on any film, right? Let me take a sip, y'all. So Todd Simpson is a guy that you turn on the film, and he can make any read, right? He could break down any play, any coverage that he sees on film. He could diagnose it on film, right? Get on the field, seeing at eye level, seeing everything in front of him with different things moving around him. He may not be as efficient recognizing it. He may not be, because there's different variations or different variables in front of him now, right? So now you look at a guy like Jalen Miro, who might stumble in the film room, right? He might stumble in the film room, but being taught, being in there, learning, right? He's around it. And when it gets on the field, because it's happening for him in live game action, he can react and do what he needs to do. Remember those things, and it like triggers. So, you know, and I'm not saying that's how it's set up in our QB room. I was just giving examples. And you can even flip it to the other side. It's just a reality that, you know, some safeties looking at film, they could look at alignment and motion and say, boom, this is what's going to happen. But then when they get out there and they're 12 yards off of the ball, off of the line of scrimmage, you know, and they see motion, and they might see motion, but they also might see a shift from the running back, you know, and the motion might stop, you know, halfway. It might not cross the formation. The motion might stop at the inline of scrimmage, and that throws them off, you know. But you might have a reactive player that could sit in there and say, you know, they tell you, what do we got when we got motion? Shoot, coach, I don't know. Tell me. All right, when you got motion, this is what you do. And you could ask him 10 minutes later what you do right here. He ain't gonna remember. But when he get in the game, he see motion. Everything that you just drilled him, he able to do it at a high rate. He's ready. So I'm excited. That's the reality of it. That's just how it works in the development phase of things. And I think we have a lot of high IQ players. On offense, I always knew exactly what to do on every play. On defense, I was likely be standing there looking like a fool, being where I needed to be. So what are you saying, Hacker? Are you saying that it's easier to learn offense than it is defense? Is that what you're saying, brother? Smook, I am now confused which one I voted for. Jim Parker, I think you voted for. So Jim Parker, I'm gonna ask you. What's up, Janet? Auntie Janet, how you feeling? I didn't see you. There's no right or wrong, guys. It's an opinionated. Right. Facts, Kareem. I'm not disagreeing. I think some teams, the defense is harder. You know, I really do think coming to under Coach Saban's defense, I think it was harder to learn than most offenses that came through this university during this time. I really do. And a lot of the defensive backs will tell you that for them, you know, maybe not so much for the D-line. Well, no, I'm going to say every level, because you got to think, man. Coach Saban, he coached a defense that put a lot of responsibility on positions. Like the star had 7 responsibilities in one play call, right? Your defensive tackle, your defensive ends, your nose guard, right? They all had 3 responsibilities every play, regardless of the call. You know, there was always a gap contained look. There was always a shade, right? And then you very rarely saw guys get unleashed to just get to the quarterback. So I'm ready to see the different style. So I can agree with both sides. You got a defense like Coach Saban's, but then you got during that same time period, you had Lane Kiffin's offense, which, you know, had a lot of window dressing, but it was simple. It was about spacing, finding the space, getting the ball into space, right? And it was simple. It was up tempo a lot of times. The run game was used effectively, right? Learning how to pick your spots, and it was understood by both quarterbacks that ran that offense under him. You know, and you can even see it translate to every team he goes to. Coach Kiffin's offenses never have struggled. Sarkisian's, they have tough games, but they don't struggle. They don't struggle over long periods of time. So, yeah, I can agree. Good morning, undefeated Uncle Jay. What's good? What's good? Much easier offense for me. Hey, some people is me. Defense was easier for me. And I only played defense for like a year and a half. But that 1 year playing defense and learning all those base coverages, like we were discussing earlier, allowed me, whenever I did go and play in like a flag football league or have to do scout team. And once I got redshirted in college after my 4th game, not redshirted, I got medical redshirt. I'm sorry. Once I would do scout team, I started volunteering to go back there and play safety, and we would talk about it, in film sessions when they would talk about what we're looking for the offense to do. When we scheme up plays, what they're trying to get the safeties to react to, that allowed me to learn to give them a good look. One time I'm gonna anticipate knowing that I know the play call, but then the next time I'm going to do what's expected, right? So that they can have a good look and react to both, and won't be, limited on what their range of understanding is, right? So I think you could be solid on both sides. You can make an argument, a case for both sides being difficult or easier, right? That's just my personal opinion. But if I had to choose, I'm saying the defense is easier to learn, man. Defense is just like, I'm telling you, man, the thing is with defense, you can really line guys up and just go. You can send 4 guys after the quarterback. You can send a linebacker sometimes to go and blow some things up too. And then you can have an athletic linebacker or bring a DB on as a 5th DB, right? You could bring a 5th DB on the field to replace the other inside linebacker and have them cover tight ends, running backs, right? For skill set purposes, right? You could literally line up and play man with an athletic team. Play man. I mean, and that's easy. You grow up. You know what? This is another thing, Hacker. If I could try to convince you to come over to this side, because y'all know I like to convince people. I like to get people to buy in. So, Hacker, can you hear me out? Give me a Smook emoji if you can hear me out for a second, my brother. EJ the 8. See, EJ come from my area, so he know what I'm talking about. We used to be in the area. We grew up Oklahoma drills, right? No. It wasn't frowned upon to put your head down, to drop your head. It was joked about. So defense was like one of the things. If you could act crazy for 60 minutes, it was easy to do in my age. But he says defense is easier to learn, offense is easier to play as far as skill. Facts. I think that's true. I agree. Hollywood, Bernard, Kobe, first 3 wide receivers with Law. I don't think so, bro. I'm gonna highlight this. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna say that for the undefeated chat talk. I think you're sadly mistaken, my brother. Offense has to learn depth, stance, cadence, blocking assignments, route timing. You get what I'm saying? And I only started in the trenches with my example. Joy, you absolutely right. Hey, facts, Kareem. That's what I'm saying. You can literally have a defense and just go crazy blitzing. Hey, if we got 5 eligible receivers, we're gonna have 5 guys in coverage. Everybody else go get the quarterback. You can do that. You can do that as a defense and find success. So yeah, we kind of slipped into undefeated chat talk, y'all. Y'all know I like to give perfect timing. Look at how we went through today's segments, y'all. I got 8 minutes, man. So the reason why I'm starting to do this is because on days like this where we have practice, I want to get there. I want to get to the campus. I get a good spot. I usually walk around campus. Today, I'm probably going to be doing some vlogging stuff, trying to get some content for both channels, right? I might be able to run into some students, ask a few questions. Like we're going to start bringing all that up today. We're going to start getting it. Start implementing it at least, Shout out to the 223 in the chat, man. And don't forget, man, shout out to our sponsors, Residence Inn, Ocean City, Maryland. We appreciate you. Sponsor, rogueshop.com. Appreciate y'all. And Demetrius Maynard over at the Maynard Group. Y'all, I don't know why I got the call-in banner because the call-in line is not open. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I should have been took that down. Because T's not at the computer right now, so that's on me, y'all. There we go. There we go. Look, this the right one right here. There we go. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I apologize. I know some people tuning in, probably calling the number. I apologize. There is no phone line right now. Bull in the ring. You know what? That was probably one of the most dumbest drills now that I think about it. That was probably one of the dumbest drills. I mean, to a certain extent. When it's ran right, it is very effective. But the way we used to run it, we had 3 coaches trying to tap a player to go in there, right? Yeah, well, no, shoot. My first year at Rusty County, we had like 8 coaches. 8 coaches standing around the circle. And you had to find out, but the right way to do it is to have a player, when he makes that contact that way, he has to stay facing that way. He can't try to find where the coach is or anything. He has to doggone keep facing that way, chopping his feet, ready. You know what I'm saying? And he got to be able to turn around and look, use that awareness. And by the time, see, the way my college coach did it, right? He walked around, he would tap a guy, and that guy, that guy wouldn't go yet. He would tap guy, and they have to remember, he'll say either 1, 2, 11. And then some people do it, they call the number out. Get your eyes around, find the numbers, brace yourself. You get what I'm saying? That's what the drill is supposed to be. Some coaches, they go out there and they do bull in the ring. They just got you standing out in the middle and they walk around, everybody hype. So you right there, you got your head on the swivel, and you got 8 coaches tapping somebody. Boom. I remember one time, man, we had a dude, rest in peace, John Barnes, man. He was talking trash in practice during spring. And man, I mean, he was the one, when he talked trash to you, he might as well fought you, right? When he talked about you, you might as well fight him, because that's how his words would cut. So man, they had John out there, and John was 2 years older than me. Some of the juniors, they were just ready to get at John. And man, John was probably like 6'3". They had a plan. They tried him at wide receiver. No, John was like 6'4", 6'5". They had him trying to play wide receiver, but he ended up going getting moved to defensive end, and was natural, and a natural talent at defensive end. But yeah, they put John in the middle, and man, I mean, it was like 4 people went out at one time. After the second dude went, it got out of hand, man, and it was an experience, man. Yeah, you had to be on point, man. You had to be on point. Yup, you had to be on point, man. Yup. Yeah, man. Hey, look, Professor Certified Hater, a lot of tight ends love Oklahoma drills, because y'all get to do them DBs dirty. They didn't make tight ends go against linebackers as much. I used to jump in the line and go against everybody. DNs, linebackers. The little what's that drill when you got the I forget the technical name of it. 2-on-1. Y'all remember 2-on-1? Where you had one blocker against your 3-on-3, where you had 2 blockers and you had to try to make it past the third guy, right? In that that tight space. I think you give them 5 yards of width, 6 yards to score. Oh, that's my chat. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. We got recruits on campus today, so my phone kind of active right now. We got 2 recruits. I think I'm going to be. We might have one. Might have a segment with one. Might be able to get something done with one of the recruits. If I do, if I do, I'll be able to bring it to y'all in some form. Probably for the fan funders. I'm gonna talk with Kyle. Probably for the fan funders. We're gonna get an exclusive with 2 of the recruits. Duke Johnson is on campus today. Will be on campus around 2:30, 3 o'clock today for the spring practice. And then the quarterback, I don't want to butcher his name. The quarterback from Utah, Helaman Katsuga. Helaman? Somebody help me. Helaman Katsuga. Y'all know I can't speak. Y'all know my my speech is I'm country, y'all. So y'all gotta help me out. 2-gap Oklahoma drill. I see some of that stuff wasn't smart, man. Some of that stuff wasn't smart, especially at the early age, man. You gotta find a way. Bull in the ring was crazy. RIP to one of my friends. He was 6'2" and stocky. They called his name, and he took his helmet off. He went in anyway and knocked some. Whoa, that's crazy. See, that boy need help. The worst drill we ran was called Bloody Bucket. One guy ran into a single file line, getting hit by every player on the team. By the last hit, you couldn't get to a knee. Whoa, what? One guy ran into a single file line, getting hit by every player on the team. I'm trying to vision that. So you're saying one guy is running into everybody that's in the line? Oh, he's standing there and everybody in the line running by, like hitting him, like running past and hitting him? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying there, hacker? Let me know. That's weird. That's weird. That's what I'm saying. Certified hater. That's called domestic violence. That's called that's borderline and I don't promote this, but that's borderline like getting jumped. That's a hate crime. Scott Stevens said, put that Smook swag on the recruits, get them committed, bro. Look, man, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm just trying to provide these young men the exposure they deserve. They working hard. They have aspirations. That's all I'm doing, man. But, you know, I'm going to definitely, I'm not going to say I'm going to hype Bama up. I'm going to definitely give my honest opinions about. I was talking with a recruit the other day, and he was saying that he's going to be taking a visit to Texas soon, right? And he's coming to Alabama. He'll actually be here this weekend, but he'll be taking a visit to Texas after Bama. And he asked me, had I ever been around? I said, man, listen, you're going to love Austin. The state of Texas is beautiful. If I could live there now, I would, you know. If there was an opportunity out there, I probably would take it. That if there was an opportunity that could take care of my family in the state of Texas, I would definitely take it because I love the state of Texas, you know, just about as much as I love my state, Alabama. I love the state of Texas. Now, as far as the University of Texas, I don't agree with a lot with a lot of their cultural standpoint things, but the campus is nice. The facilities, not better than Bama's, but they are nice, right? They're upgrading some of their facilities. I mean, they have the NIL. They have everything that you would want on the hype side. But if you're trying to be a winner, you definitely want to go to Bama. You want to, I mean, it's just proven. It's just proven. You want to be a part of a new exciting, energy, go to Bama. You know, Sarkisian and those guys, they got a solid program. We can't deny that. You know, and then he started talking about Texas A&M. I said College Station is trash. And that's my personal opinion. Like, he asked me for my opinion. I've been to College Station and it's trash. The stadium, the game was cool, but the campus, trash. There's nothing special about College Station, the town, the surrounding towns around it. Nothing special about it. Nothing special. It's actually like in the middle of bum crap Texas. Honestly, if you be honest, kind of like Texas Tech too. Like them schools, there's nothing appealing there. At least in Tuscaloosa, man, you can ride around and see there's some attractions, man. It looked nice in T-Town. It looked nice in Austin. You go to Pflugerville and Round Rock and what's some of the other, you're not far from Waco. I think Austin's probably like 2 hours from Waco. You're like 2.5 hours, 3 hours from Dallas, right? Depending on how you drive, you know, in Texas on the highway ain't no speed limit for real. San Antonio's not far. Like Austin is a good spot. It's in the center. It's closer to. It's like right there in the center of Texas. You're in the middle of Texas. So, he asked me about it. He was like, "Man, I can't wait. I ain't never been." I was like, "Shoot, man, definitely enjoy it. Definitely enjoy it. I'm telling you, it's an experience." And I think that's what happened with Ryan Williams. He got to experience that state, man. And I think and this ain't nothing I can confirm, but just by hearing some things. It was definitely the A&M visit was what turned him off, like of the recruiting process. It was, you know, y'all seen him posting the pictures, you know, but they doing too much right now. They doing too much. Smook, Friday list of recruits is coming deadly. Oh, let me show you. Let me show you this list right here. Deshaun, hold on. Because you know Deshaun like to get in and try to beat folks to the punch, man. I be trying to have a good build up. Let me see. I'm gonna show y'all this list. And shout out to, I forget who gave me this list. My boy Brody Smook, he gonna be bringing me some confirmed stuff too. Here we go. Oh, where that's at? Here we go. So this is the list right here that I shared the other day. I couldn't find the tweet, the original tweet. This is when I just screenshot it. But these are recruits that are going to be in town between today and Saturday, right? These guys are going to be in town today, between today and Saturday. I'm missing one name, Daryl Duke Johnson at the top. He got cut off up here, up at the top, but he's going to be in town today. Braylon Womack, I'm not sure when I think he's coming in Friday. Hellman is here today. Juju Lewis is this weekend. Noah McHale is this weekend. Travis Smith Jr. is this weekend. London Merritt, Nashawn Montgomery. I think Nashawn might be coming in early on Thursday. I'm gonna touch bases with him. The 25 4-star receiver. Zaire Addison, I think he'll be here Saturday, right? Friday. I'm sorry, Friday. LaRue, haven't touched bases with him. And Bryce Perry confirmed that he's going to be here Friday too. So those are just a few of the names. I think it's like 7 or 8 more that I don't have on that list right there. So can't wait to see how that all plays out. Let me get this graphic back up. I'm tripping. All right, so that's pretty cool, y'all. That's pretty cool. Big Smook gang in effect. Facts. We out here. Smook, you heard anything about that staff looking at the portal? There's a 4-star offensive tackle, Marcus Bryant, graded a strong 90 in there. I haven't heard anything about it, but that will be something that we can ask. Another thing, guys, if you guys want to, what's the email address? That's for sponsored dealerships. So because I don't see anything directed by Kyle, right? If you want questions asked to the media, I'm gonna start doing threads on Twitter. I'm gonna start doing threads. And as a matter of fact, I'll start doing threads on Twitter. I'll do a thread on Twitter, right? And we'll be looking out for it. I'll make sure I hashtag the undefeated, and I hashtag Bama football on YouTube. And it'll be QFP, questions for the players, right? Because I'll be asking the players questions today. I'll be around where the players will be doing their interviews post practice. So, that's gonna be cool. That's gonna be cool today. So check Twitter. If you're not on Twitter, you can email me at coachsmook@gmail.com. Let me get my little banner up here so y'all can email your boy. We got some good Smook scoops, right? We got some good under the radars. Somebody sent me one today, as a matter of fact, and we're going to look at that on tomorrow's segment. Y'all know that Tuesdays and Thursdays are the days that we're going to do under the radar, hidden gems on the radar. So continue to send me those. CoachSmook@gmail.com. Again, that's CoachSmook@gmail.com. DeMarco sent me one of a recruit I'll be checking out today. I can't wait to get into his full film. I watched like the first 15 seconds of it, man. And the thing is, he's actually a senior this year. So if he's not getting looked at right now, man, I would love to have his film featured on the segment, and he may get a preferred walk-on look or something. I don't know, but that'll be cool. And then Jared came through, and Jared, if you send me another email in some green highlighter font that I can't even see, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight, Jared. We are really gonna fight. This man sent me. Y'all wanna see what Jared sent me? I'm gonna show y'all the email. Hold on, I'm gonna show y'all before I get up out of here. Y'all know Jared like the pick at Smook, right? Hold on. Here we go. This is part of the email that Jared sent me, y'all. and y'all tell me what this say. It might be my computer acting weird. Can y'all see anything on this, dog? Jared, look, y'all. What Jared was talking about, man? Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me what Jared said in this. Can y'all read that? Jared, what you doing? Jared, what you was doing, bro? My boy said, what I think about Miro winning the Heisman. I'm gonna take two chats before I get up out of here because we do gotta get to the campus and get set up. Smook, what you think about Miro winning the Heisman this year and Haynes next year for back-to-back? Hey, Scott Stevens, I bet you won't email Coach Smook reality or reach. Do that. I think that'll be both of those if you word them correctly, because I like to give y'all that space to kind of expound. I suggest you email that one to me. I really do. I think that's a good topic of discussion for reality or reach. I think that's a good segment, a good jump to jump in on. Smook, there's a great article by Chris Lowe on ESPN about Saban retiring. Did you see it? I haven't, but I did get tagged in and I haven't been able to read it. I'm going to definitely jump on it and read it. Jerry, you ain't do that? Jerry, you hey, that's my bro, man. Jared always pick it. He always pick it. Y'all know Jared be trying to. Hey, let me tell y'all, Jared keep me on my toes, though. That's my brother. Don't be coming at Jared. Them special goggles, see? And y'all know I got special bifocals, and I can't even read that. But it do show up when I highlight it. I just know that right there it look weird. Jared, will the signees be able to jump in the portal, though? I wonder. Appreciate that, Stevens. Appreciate that, Scott. Hey, so with that being said, once again, thank you all for tuning in today, man. It's been a fun segment. I love what we do here. I love every time we come on here. Y'all come with the energy. Y'all support your boy. Don't forget to go follow me at Coach Smook on every platform. Shout out to everybody. I want to screenshot something and show y'all real quick. This goes to show you that this team is really supportive of each other. Let me see. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick because it was definitely a milestone for us as a team, right? And I want to celebrate this with Bama Football on YouTube. I want to celebrate this with Bama Football on YouTube, guys. I want to celebrate this with you all. Hold on, y'all. Give me 2 seconds. Here we go. Y'all ready? I'm not going to get emotional, I promise. I'm not going to get emotional. But I got to thank you all for getting me to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, y'all. I have to thank you all for getting me to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. When I started my YouTube channel years ago, we did this crazy video. Me and my boy Zay, we did this crazy video. It was more of a comedy style approach. I mean, I never would have thought, and I was only at 249 subscribers when I came to this channel. 249 when I came to this channel as a talent, guys, as a co-panelist. So getting the 1K subscribers on YouTube is definitely a monumental thing for me and for content creators who know that 1K is probably the hardest one to get to. And then, it kind of just starts flowing from there. So I appreciate you all and your support, doing what you do, following on all the platforms. I'm trying not to get emotional, y'all, because I'm just grateful. I'm very grateful. So I really appreciate Kyle, T, everybody, man, for supporting my vision. Even though I've joined this team, they still respect my vision and they support it. And they have a plan for continuing to help me grow in this industry and learn the ropes. And I trust them, trust God to use them the way he's been using them, And y'all know I'm very spiritual, but I know that this is a divine appointment, y'all. I know this is a divine moment in our lives. Everybody that's a part of this, we're going to look back on this next year and we're going to be like, man, y'all remember when Coach Saban retired and Coach Smook and Coach Sean and Coach Jay and Ty, they popped up on the scene, and Coach and Jake Merrill. Hey, so I was able to talk to Jake Merrill yesterday, y'all. He's fine. Keep his family in your prayers, man. He's making a big move, and he will be back with us soon, man. He had to get a new phone and everything. Was able to talk to him. Text him briefly. And yeah, man, we're family here. We're a group of brotherhood, right? T's the sister that's part of the family. But this is a brotherhood. This is a family, and y'all are part of the family too, man. Y'all are part of the family. So yeah, man. I appreciate y'all for supporting the channel. Be looking for a pre-practice vlog or something on my channel today. We're gonna do something to kind of get the hype up, to generate traffic, to continue to come over to Bama Football on YouTube. I won't be doing any coverage stuff, right? Any coverage talking about anything on my channel. It'll just be like hype stuff, getting you ready for my day, telling you what my day is like, telling you what it all entails. So it's like my vlog channel now, I might need to just update the description and put it Coach Smook, Bama Football on YouTube's vlog channel, So what y'all think? And I appreciate the positive words, man. Y'all got, it's for the world to be so jacked up. I think a lot, it's hard to not believe that a large percentage of the people that do have a good heart aren't in this chat, like a part of this community. Out of the 100K, that's a good number of people, and everybody that knows this channel, they provide a good vibe about themselves. So with that being said, chat, I'm gonna get on up out of here, man. I got a long work day, about to check out of this room and get everything going. I don't know if y'all heard housekeeping knocking at the door, but I don't know why I told them I don't need it. But yeah, so we're gonna get up out of here, chat. We're gonna do what we gotta do. And I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Much love, and y'all know how I like to leave it. Roll Tide, roll. Y'all have a good one. See y'all later.
Special thanks to our sponsor, Residence Inn, Ocean City, Maryland. Guests can book at residenceinoc.com. Use the promo code LPR for special Bama football pricing, up to 20% off. Also, go to therogueshop.com. Use the promo code BAMA. You get legal CBD. For me, personally, I like the topical oil. You know how intense my workouts are, right? So I like the topical oil. I like to rub that on my back, whatever, after those cinder blocks. So go to their website, cruise down, look through their website, and definitely check out rogueshop.com. And like I said, I like the topical. Again, the promo code is BAMA. Also, think about becoming a fan funder right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Become a part of the Undefeated as low as $2.99 a month. That's 10 cents a day. How do you do this? Make sure you're logged into your account. This is on a computer. You can also do this on your phone, and look for the tab that says membership. Once you click membership, you can see different options. You can see an upgrade button right there to the right if you want to go through the different levels. We have fan funder videos from the staff right here at Bama Football on YouTube. Very easy to navigate. Let us know if you have questions inside the comment box when trying to upgrade or renew your fan funder membership right here on Bama Football on YouTube. And of course, if you want to rock that undefeated gear, check out our merch store located at the bottom of the videos. We appreciate Patriot Life, Cynthia, Antoine, Caitlin, and to everybody else that supports us right here on Bama Football on YouTube.